Hello. Okay, it's raining on my side. Anybody else? Your area is also raining. No, wow, good.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay,
Soon.
yeah. I like the rain because very cooling. Yeah, can focus on the lesson better later. Okay, let me see all your screens are turned on and off. Okay, we still have a few friends who are probably not around their screen. So yeah, but today is the 6th lesson of Recruiting Mastery Workshop, right? Rethinking what understanding opportunities. Wow, still a very mouthful for me. Okay, but yes, this is the last lesson of the recruitment segment, right? After today, then next week we'll be moving on to the retention side already. So I hope that all of you are ready in mastering the recruitment segment so that when you get your new agents, you're ready to learn the new system to like retain them and help them along the way. Okay? Yeah, so okay, let me just check the screen again. Okay, everyone is in, right? Okay, I know Jaylin team is always on time. All of them are in. All right. Okay, so without further ado, I'll pass the time now to Mr. Gordon Hu.
Thank you, Elaine. Good afternoon, everybody. We are back here, and like what Elaine said, we have come a long way, really a long way. We are now, we have already journeyed plus today. We have been already together for the last 9 weeks. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if you are not in this program in these 9 weeks? Is there anything significant that has happened to you? I would say that not much. But now that you are here in these 9 weeks, is there anything significant that has changed in your thinking or in your worldview? I would hope that you'll say yes. So can you imagine if you're not here and now that you're here? So today we are at the last session of the second module on Recruiting Mastery Workshop. And then next week, we will move on to our last module called Start It Right. Okay. So last week we learned about the concept. Where do we get the idea about flexible staffing? I am not here to convince you using what I think. It's not about what I think. It is what is happening now around the world. I show you from a human resource company called HRNet Group. And I hope after last week, you bother to go and search out yourself about HRNet Group. Whether what I said, is it real, or you have discovered more things about HRNet Group that I did not share, which I want to tell you, there are much more things about them that I did not share because of time. There's so much we can learn from this HRNet company. And then I also share with you that one is about a company, business, and then I talk to you about a global scene about foreign talent from a national level, global level, and then to us. So this is not what I say. I'm not here to convince you of what I think, but I'm here to show you what is really happening. And from that mega view, global view, we zoom out view, now we zoom into ourselves. With this concept, by now, do you agree? Do you have a buy-in now that this is an area you should not ignore or overlook, or just continue where you are? Right? So this is not my idea. It is what is happening. So today, let's go into something more practical. After we get the idea, the concept, then we go into something more practical. Hopefully, we can zoom in even more. Then you can at least have a rough idea how to approach this FSFT, which I coined foreign staffing, foreign talent. So put together, it's called Flexi Agent or Flexi FC, whichever places you're from, you name it accordingly. All right, so let's dive in. So we are still at our pillar on recruitment. So you can imagine if I have the opportunity to journey with all of you to go through all the 5 pillars. Guys, it will probably take around 3 years for me to really share with you what I have learned over the years to present to you. How I wish I can do this with you and journey with you, continuing with all these things. And then we are talking about morphosis. Guys, this year, I am looking forward to do one Morphosis camp, which is in the first week of November in Indonesia. Sorry, Malaysia, Singapore, we're going to do it in Indonesia, not Malaysia. So if you are interested to attend, once I got the information, Pak Rudy, Pak Hengam, they are going to help me start to look out for a venue in Indonesia, a resort where we're going to do the camp. So if you're open, I welcome you to attend. It will be a camp done in English by me, but interpreted by Rudy into Bahasa Indonesia. So if you attend, you get to enjoy for one fee, but hear the camp twice. Why? When I speak, you hear Bahasa Indonesia twice. Why got such kind of deal, isn't it? Isn't it? So for JL Lim, one of your guys, Marcus, right? Marcus can understand Bahasa Indonesia. Jeffrey, you should send him or no, sponsor him, go there and recce out and say, go there and check it out. Is it really true? And then come back and report. You know, well, Singapore like to send advance party first. Okay, if it's no good, he died there, then at least you know he sacrificed in honor. But if he come back and say that, boss, wow, this is great, then we look forward to 2023. All right, where is Marcus? Why, I thought about Marcus only, he disappeared. How come today I can't see him?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
Marcus, you're here, right? Oh, yeah, you're right at the corner in my screen. All right. So, Marcus, I hope you can come. If not, Jeffrey can send a team to go there. So you pay a fee, but you get to learn twice. You know, you learn from English, you learn from Bahasa. So, but Marcus got the most benefit because you can understand both languages. All right. So we already identified a location in Indonesia. And when I share with somebody today, immediate response from that person is, Gordon, do you know the location you have chosen was a tsunami location? I said, wow, fantastic. He said, yeah, that was sometimes tsunami hit that place and gone, you know. I said, let's go back. I don't think it will come again. He said, oh, you like that? Because we insurance people, we always like that one. We go there again. Okay, so we'll be there. All right. I must tell you first, so that means you have been informed that that place has a potential tsunami area. Hello, are you okay? All right, Singaporean, we must show the world that we are okay because the world view us as kia su, kia si, kia bo, kia zheng hu. You understand? No? So we must go against all this stereotyping of Singaporean, that we are not afraid, we'll go there. Because my travel, I learned something in my travel as a speaker, speaking, that there's no safe place in the world to train. You go near resort, you worry tsunami. You train in the mountain, there are landslide, there are volcano. You train in a city, there are earthquake. You go KL now, flooding. Hello, where there's no safe place in the world, you understand? So we just go and train, All right. Good introduction. So Rudy, I already made the announcement. Please check out the resort and we'll be there. Okay, to do our first Indonesia Morphosis, but it's open to all of you. But if you're Chinese speaking, you neither can you understand English or Bahasa Indonesia, please do not sign up. All right, please do not sign up. Hey, chat, go some respond. Say, yeah, I'm coming, I'm excited, looking forward, say something. Wow, I thought you so charmed, no respond. Hello, Morphosis, coming ready. Okay. All right, we received some feedback. So I'm going to share with you one feedback, all right, from this person. He said that the session was filled with lots of hope and example of HRNet Group success, being the market leader, further drive the belief the flexi staffing strategy will serve the growth of the agency over time. I'm very impressed with their growth strategy after visiting their website the other day. So I'm very impressed with this manager that he bothered to go and check it out himself. He said, my group fully agreeable that their business model are very much similar like ours. However, their advantage is that they do not have the regulatory requirements to be met, such as passing the mandatory exams. Thus, their recruitment process and conversion rate is very much being shortened. Well, this is a spot-on point, but they may have other things that we do not have too. Okay, so we do not know. Nonetheless, it's just another route that we can get candidates by offering flexi staffing, while we aim to quickly get full-timers to be part of the agency. Also, I am impressed that you will be doing a live call in front of the candidates and wanting the unknown person to reject you in the call. Thank you for doing that and showing this unusual method of getting rejection on the spot with your prospective candidate. I'll implement that in my next round of conversation. Now, to this person, I want to tell you that, yes, indeed, it is true. In my training, I have also, when I did a big scale career seminar, I not only make a call, I will say that now that you've seen me make the call and I got rejected, next, when we get the appointment, what do we say? So I will go a step further by saying that, so now I assume that I got an appointment and I get one of the guests to come on the stage and I show him a sales presentation in front of everybody. So in the whiteboard, I talk to that person, I will ask questions, I literally do my presentation, do my drawings on the flip chart, and I share in front of everybody. And then I'll ask the candidate, what do you think? So again, I hope the candidate will run down my presentation, but normally in a big setting like that, they are extremely polite, very nice. Even if they reject me gently. Then after that, they go down, I will ask the class, do you think this presentation is something you can learn? Almost everybody will say yes. Do you think it's difficult to understand? They say no. So you can learn, you can understand, you can present. That's what we do when we see our customer. So you notice in my recruitment, I literally, in a big scale seminar, I literally go through the 10 must ask question live. So to many of you that you will go through the 10 must ask question, on that part that I did not share is, what do you say when you get the appointment? You notice I just share with you 4 or 5 sales idea down there. So when you do your own 10 must ask question, you must add that part in your presentation. What do you say? Okay, for Jeffrey Lim organization during our era, when we are with Mr. Wee Tiong Hao, we learn the budget and financial planning. Joel, Kamal, all this would understand, right? If you remember, back then when I was 26 years old, I joined the industry. We memorized the script called budget and financial planning. I still remember my script. Thank you, Mr. Prospect, for giving me this opportunity to meet you to share about this budget financial planning program. In order for me to design this plan that meet your needs, I need some very personal and private confidential information from you. Is that okay with you? How, Joel, do you think my script correct? That was 26 years ago. I memorized. Until now, I can still speak it out because we memorize script. And once you memorize it, it stays with you. It stays with you. So this is how we do. We make it very real in our recruitment. We do not want to do all sorts of sugar coating to make things look so good, but we speak very real thing. All right, so this manager talked about calling. I want to go a step further for you. You must have a very solid presentation, simple, that people, when they listen to it, they, wow, okay, very interesting. I understand. Even to the candidate, they understand, they like it. It's not pressurizing. It's not the way they understand about selling insurance. So that is the whole idea about it. Okay. Colin Wong, why is there $1,500 there? Do you send the wrong message to anybody? You owe me $5,500. Please collect money from.
No, I was asking whether is it a cost that going to Indonesia, you know?
What cost? What cost?
Going to Indonesia, right?
Oh, the Morphosis camp, you mean?
Yeah.
Are you referring to the Morphosis camp? Yes.
No, you are going there, right? I mean.
Oh, yeah, I'm going there. Very good, Polly. I'm so happy you made inquiry. Okay, fantastic. All right. So this manager continue with more questions. So he has 3 questions. He said, number 1, it is challenging to shift the mindset of the young. After the rethinking work, understanding opportunity, presentation, and answering the 10 questions, many choose to remain at their jobs. And when asked for feedback, they did not return the feedback. What would you do in this instant then? Okay. This is a very interesting, is that one of our manager, Adeline, you want to share how when you do your rethinking work, immediately you go and online on the spot, they got to give the online answer about their feel about this seminar, then whether they want to be follow up or not. Adeline, where are you? Adeline, can you share when you do your rethinking work on the spot, you get them to do an online survey or online response to the question whether they want to come back? Can we contact you? Are they willing to? 来 share
share 我问的问题呀。
对，你的那个下一个 ，but you speak in English please.
老师，等一下我再倒回来可以吗？
Okay, because this is not pre-planned to make it very real, so she needs to search her secret weapon to come back and share with all of us again. Okay, thank you for her willingness. For the sake of this question, we will help you to hopefully can help you. Question 2 first. Connecting the dots and creating experiences seems like a long process. We already established that. It's an onion. What if the candidates still do not respond to your calls or messages? To this manager, the fact that you asked this question, you have forgotten we are in the onion process. Because your question 2, people don't respond to your call, don't respond to your messages. It happens to you, it happens to me. Even right now, if I'm the one doing it, it will still happen to me. There's no secret recipe where people don't respond to your call. What can I do? What can I do? So our job is just keep calling, no response, we just keep moving on, keep peeling and not keep peeling the onion. There's no secret. We just hope that they will respond one day. If not, that's it. It ends there. It ends there. I'm doing this training. There are many managers who attended my talk. They are very engaging during the whole 12 weeks. They are so engaging. But the moment the session ends, I text them, catch up, follow up, suddenly disappear. You know, have you met people that during the time when you engage, they're so friendly, they're so good, everything looks so positive, but the next moment, they suddenly become a different person. You always wonder why. How come like that? Suddenly become a different person, though. Suddenly like very angry with me, suddenly like them song me. But then you realize it's like that. So in the end, don't get so hurt or upset. You just move on in life. You know, Rudy said, you also experience that, Sifu. Of course, why not? And then to many of you, if you look at my face and your face, I will experience more than you. Do you not agree? Right, you look at Joel, he's such a nice face since 30 years ago. I know him, always look at him, so admire. He get lesser rejection compared to me, you know, because he got a very nice face. Very friendly face compared to me. My face, people see. One see, one want to, you know, like cockroach. One person see, want to hit, you know, it's like that. Yeah. Marcus, thank you, okay, for your such positive feedback. Agree that I got the kind of face that got more rejection than you, is it, Marcus? Okay, thank you.
So, Sifu Gordon, I'm ready. I don't know whether this is a trick question after ending the RWO to continuous the next event, right? You're asking about this question, right?
Yeah, so Adeline has sent me a text, so I screen share to show all of you, okay? So Adeline, then you can share from here now.
Okay. After the section, we always get the feedback from the polling question. Then after the rating, so whether they rate today's section. So we just basically excellent, good, or fair. And then the second question is we want to get the referral. That's why we ask that whether they're willing to refer their friend come to our platform. And then the third is because we continuous is a 10-question event. That's why we ask willing to come in our A&T program. We call it a test and train 10 question. There's in our section is 2 sections. Then after the rating already, then we got the conversation with them. Then after that, on the spot, there will be do the registration. Then our consultant will be do the follow-up in the next week. Then we will come back again to discuss again.
Wow,
for the outcome.
Right. So what Adeline did is again fantastic. Rudy, Hangam, to the rest, please pick up this idea. And you can see the rating. They have quite a high rating to the 3 questions. Do you notice that? So for those people who are not interested, you will see that their rating is low, and then that's it. They make it very clear, please don't contact me, I'm not interested. But you will see very good rating. And for those with good rating, up there and there, they already indicates that, well, yeah, please we'll proceed. So this is a very good thing that Adeline has moved on to do. Okay, amazing, creative. And guys, please do not ask, where can I get the apps? These are all readily available. I'm sure you all know where to find them, okay? Right, so please go to the chat and say thank you, Adeline, so kind for you to share. Yep. That is my way of sharing, that we are very open and free to share what we have so that we can learn and others can get better than us. Then when they share, then we get better. We do not want to keep, because you are here to learn from one another and do better and better. Okay, let's continue with this manager. Here's one more question. Do you have specific script to get the candidate whom you have interviewed or conversed with previously to return back to you? And what would you say to them if the replies are, I'm still considering and will get back to you again? So thank you for taking the time to read my feedback. Okay, now I don't have a script to link you from attach and train to FSFT. I have provided a lot of scripts along the way, if you notice. So what I want to say to you is that sometimes in training, it's important that you get the concept correct, right concept, right understanding. Then you sit down, you write the script. Actually, I can provide the script, but sometimes I do not provide the script due to time. I got other things to share. You can write the script, you can send me the script that you have written, then I can help you go through along accordingly if you want to. Okay, I would love to do that with you. So for those of you, if you really want to write the script, please, you can write the script while we still have 3 more sessions. 3 more sessions, then we can talk about it every time we revisit. So appreciate this manager for your feedback, and then we have a few more feedbacks, and also thank you for your sharing, and many of you give very positive feedback, especially about this flexi staffing and foreign talent. All right. So today we're going to talk about this FSFT, flexi staff foreign talent, a new way to work. So to kick off, I want to share with you, is FSFT a fact or is it a myth? You see, I still want to spend time to talk about this because sometimes to break stereotype, to break unbelief, or sometimes people say, is it really possible? So I want to present some facts and to you that FSFT is indeed a fact, it's not a myth. Because some of these myths are, again, yourself talking to yourself. Why? Again, as you continue doing it, the facts that you believe now may eventually become a myth to you, or as you go back to the company where everybody is going back to their old way, and you look at them, wow, they got results, they are doing so well, and then here you are, wow, struggling, still not getting the results. You will have this challenge, many of you. I prepare you first. Like Tony will go back and then we'll see that his past will catch up with him. He said, in the past, this is what I do. Look at the result of all my colleagues. But now I follow you, Gordon. I peel the onion until I'm crying, but still no results. Now, it is in moments like this, you will start to think that all this FSFT is a myth. It is a myth. 是一个神话. So I want to share with you, it's not a myth. It's not a myth. Do you really believe it? Okay. Myth number 1, FSFT divide. Gordon, if I have this FSFT in my agency, if I adopt this, if I implement it, it will divide my agency. Guys, the fact is, full-time consultant or full-time agent and the flexi agent can be brought together for common goals. That is a fact. If you exercise your leadership, you can bring these 2 groups together for a common goal. And if you are able to build your FSFT over time, you can have a very healthy competition between your flexi agent and your full-time agent. They can compete with each other. They can PK with each other. If managed properly, there will be synergy in the agency's environment. It is that fantastic. Do you believe that this is possible? Because I need to help especially the Malaysia and the Indonesian market to realize that you do not qualify to question the FSFT as a myth because you are in the environment of part-time agency. If for decades you are living with part-time, then today I bring you to another version, an upgraded version of quote-unquote part-time, but we call it flexi. But to the Singapore market, there is a challenge. Not because we don't believe in it. The legislation consideration governing Singapore make things very difficult for us to maneuver, to implement this flexi agent concept. So in the Singapore context, the law does not require us to bring in part-time agents. So Singapore, there's no part-time agent. But yet we know that we have many agents who are full-time but live and behave part-time. Hello, Singapore, you understand what I'm talking, right? Yeah, you are full-time, but you live and behave part-time. So if you don't understand, there are many people who are married, even though they're married, but they still live like a single man. So it's like that lah. So married or full-time contract doesn't make a person full-time. It is your behavior, your action, your commitment that make you full-time. So, but the law make it very clear that we cannot have it part-time. So to the Singapore team, I hope as I continue the sharing, you must know how to split, okay? How not to divide, separate what you see and do not reject. You have to approach this creatively. Everything is an idea. It's not an idea. Even the law says cannot, this cannot, but it's an idea. First of all, do you like the idea? Do you believe in the idea? So let's dwell on that and not reject it. Okay. For Malaysia, Indonesia, it's very straightforward. You can still contract them. They have a job, no problem. So it's easier, but easier, that doesn't means that everybody already make it successful. So it doesn't divide. Let me tell you this, it doesn't divide. Number two, only citizen. That means we only accept full-time now. Singaporean, this is our context. No FSFT. Whereas this doesn't apply to Malaysia and Indonesia because they have all along been having part-time agents. So now if they think that there's only citizen, it doesn't work. Why? It doesn't work because do you want to be a Japan? We are very clear, we don't want to be a Japan. Japan now is having this problem because they only want citizen in their country. They don't accept foreign talent. So we got to understand that each agency has its own culture. It requires its own case study and requires its own analysis and customized solution. The mix of FC and FSFT vary from one agency to another. So please do not reject this idea. Again, I speak to the Singaporean team, do not reject this idea. If not, do you want to be a Japan? So to the Singapore, Malaysia, and Indonesia team, yeah, you have all the while having a part-time team. So there's no way you will reject this idea. Then how are you going to convert this whole part-time thing into a flexi? So that's why I'm not here to give you the answer. You have to do your own analysis because why? Each of your agency culture are different. The way you run are different. The background are different. The people different. The dynamics, the demographics, everything different. But the concept is true. It's the same. So how do you implement it? So there are a lot of things you need to do, meet and dwell on it and discuss. That's how you can move forward. Okay. Guys, we are in an adult education leadership program like this. I'm not here to spoon feed you with this script, these thoughts. Even if I give you the script, you notice it may not be relevant to your culture and context. You still need to modify it. So therefore, I repeat myself over and over, is that you need to understand the concept and you need to meet and you need to come up with your own scenario. Myth number 3, the hardest part about agency building is recruiting agent. This is actually a myth or it's a fact. Let me tell you, this is a myth. Because the hardest part about agency building is not about recruiting agent, it's about retention. Culture training, sharing sessions that make FC feel supported and valued are the reason that contribute to high retention. Contrary to belief, monetary benefits are not the only key to retaining agents. So this is interesting because what has this point to do with FSFT? What has this point to do with recruiting FSFT? Is it a myth or a fact? The whole concept is to help you to understand whether we recruit FSFT part-time or full-time, that recruitment is not the most difficult part of the whole equation. The most difficult part is the retention. So if retention is the most difficult, then you got to, then looking at FSFT become important because the whole FSFT idea, the ANT 30, 60, 90 days in itself is a selection program for you to eventually to have a full-time agent, and that will help in your retention. Please listen carefully. We are very used to selection by many training programs out there by filling of questionnaire. There are 50 questionnaires, fill in, and then you will know whether this selection is this the person you want. I want to tell you, those are only good theoretically, but at the end of the day, even the questionnaire come out, whatever exercise you do, nothing will beat this form of selection where a candidate is willing to go through with you 30, 60, 90 days or the remaining days. So when you look at the pain about going through all these things, just by now you look at many of you, your face cringe, I saw many Indonesian managers and Malaysian leaders who attend this say, wow, they feel the pain just by thinking that if they want to use this system, the pain they got to go through is the manager, they're not willing to go through this. But not realizing that if you don't do this, fine, you go back to the old ways, then you're back to the same problem. You have retention problem. Now they go back to the old ways when recruitment become easy, people come, but then people leave easy. But I go through a very difficult way now. In itself, I am doing a retention selection throughout the 30, 60, 90 day remaining. It's a retention. If the person can go through, then go through the SIR. It's a whole series of selection and a retention program. That's why it's a myth that recruiting is tough. Recruiting is not tough if you go the BOP way or many other way, but it is a retention that is tough. That's why which is a myth, which is a fact. Clear? Do you agree? Wow, I like Thomas, man. Got aha moments somehow. Okay, I'm very high already. Well, Thomas give this kind of feedback, I'm very high already. I'm going to give more, okay? Walao way. Okay, whether give or not, already give more already. Every time I talk until I chuan. Do you notice that? Right, let's go through the next myth, number 4. FSFT agency means lowering the standard. Again, Malaysia, Indonesia, you are not qualified to make this kind of statement because you have been having part-time agency. FSFT really lower standard. So to the Singaporean team, if you really put in effort to do that, will it lower your agency standard or will it deplete your resources, your time, your energy? That's a myth. The truth is that only part-time agency lowers standard. FSFT doesn't lower the standard. On the contrary, FSFT agency will increase standard and performance. Take HR Net Group, flexi staffing example. FSFT business unit will have its own stars. Now, this is a point I want to emphasize. When you start, you will see that the first year, you maybe have 1 or 2 flexi agent. After 1 year, maybe the 2 also die. Then whole year effort, all the thing put in, there's no flexi at all. Will you give up? But if you believe in something, you continue to build. Over time, you will have your flexi agent start growing. In itself, it is a business unit. Take note of this phrase that I use. Because in agency, we are not used to words like this, but these are business terms. In itself, it's a business unit. You do not mix with your main unit. And this business unit in itself will produce its own stars over time. It will run by itself. It has its own ecosystem. Think along its line. And this thing will complement. This thing can compete very healthy. And they both are professionals. Imagine here, we will groom them to want to be full-time. And imagine many in the full-time overtime, they feel that they cannot, they want to go to flexi. Hello, these two complementary. Think along the line. With good training and management, higher productivity can be achieved without compromising the standard. So these are the things which I can share with you. Next, if the FSFTs, if the flexi agent are committed, the system will work. Guys, this is a myth, okay? It is a myth because truth be known, it is the management. If the management is not as committed, this system will fail. So now that you have learned from me, you want to implement it, Our thinking is always about them. Yeah, this person cannot, the ANT cannot, no, the remaining day also cannot commit, 30, 16 days, sometimes come, sometimes don't come, just now the feedback, text also never return call, this thing. No, it's always about them, guys, it's always about you. Yes, they have this kind of behavior, so that's why the Lao Tzu, the 6 word from Lao Tzu come in, the 5 A's got to come in. That's why I use the 5 A's to coach them, the Lao Tzu way to influence them. But at the end, it's about you, how you continue. That's why the word is, if you want to adopt this, there's one word that later I'll share with you. That word is very important. Later I'll share with you. There's one word. Okay, so it's the management, it's about you, it's not about them first. So the belief and acceptance of the FSFT system starts right at the top. Again, remember HR Net Group, flexi staffing example. In Singapore, they are the largest that provide this. There are many HR companies around. Why is it that others are not doing this, but they are doing so well, and 77% of their revenue come from this group, the dual engine in their company. And it should spread to all levels for it to become part of an organization culture. Everyone must take ownership of inclusion practices and be accountable. So if you can make this a business unit that become part of the strategy in your agency, everybody, full-time and part-time, know that in the organization now there are 2 groups running. And everybody should welcome them. We are in an inclusive, we don't live an exclusive, also that group is that group, or second class, we are first class. No, we welcome them. Because every group in their respective place, they are there because of a reason. I choose to be in flexi business unit. There is a reason. As I said, you learn. I could be a single mom. I could have an autistic kid. And there's a different situation that we do not know, but yet we give them this opportunity. So running with this kind of understanding, will it excite you or will it stress you out? Wow, so many things to do. You have to decide. To me, I'm excited because I'm always excited about doing things and make it happen. Because life is like that. Starting is always tough, but once the system is established, things become easier. Like I always remember saying, everything is difficult before it becomes easy. Life is like that one. You look at when they launch a rocket, the starting is always the most difficult, you know, the hitting, but when it's very slow, you know, like going to fall down, going to collapse like that. But the moment it take off, the moment it hit a certain momentum, things become very smooth. So that is life. Everything is difficult before it becomes easy. But unfortunately, many people died at the initial difficult stage. So that's why we need support. We need to work together. Being alone is too tough. So that's why I said again and again, after this session, what's next? Then I say again and again that after this session, when we're going to do a rerun, at the end of this session, I will share with you, next week, I will share with you our August rerun, the dates for our second half of the year, when every year we'll do a 2 session of Ample Essential. You got to make up your mind that you got to come again. Because many of you, if you hear the second time, you will receive it differently, because from now till then, you already start practicing. Then come again, we'll have a different level of understanding. And then start thinking who you can invite. As I said, you can invite 3 persons, you get to attend free. So please start working at it. There are many people out there, your colleagues, your friends in the company who are like you, lost, they need help. They need help. Okay. So this is the 5 myths and facts. I hope you can see it and look at it. It's true. It's true that this is really a fact. Then hopefully, as I shared just now, you also have some self-discovery that there are certain things you thought is a fact, but realize that that thinking is actually a myth. It's not true, especially you think recruitment is difficult. Let me tell you, recruitment is so painful. You spend so much time recruiting, but at the end of the day, you lose them. So which is more difficult? Which is more difficult? Okay. All right. So point 4 is to spread to all, become an organization culture. So you want to adopt this system, it has to be a culture. The whole organization got to know what you are doing. It cannot be done in secret, so that it is part of the culture, so that people know that there's a flexi. So when they want to do AGA, they know that there's a place that there's another business unit that the company has that complement what you're doing. Okay, so and then it's an inclusive practice. and then everybody can be accountable one to another. Now, I want to share with you the next thing again on characteristic of an ideal FT. Okay, characteristic, meaning if you interview people, your candidate, so these are the characteristics you watch out for. And then again, this kind of characteristic is also applicable if you recruit a full-time agent. It just applies to all, but now our focus is on FSFT. Number one, this person you talk to after the rethinking work, then you continue to engage him, and then you bring him to 10 must ask question, and then as you engage him, this person got to see this as an opportunity that eventually you are leading him to an entrepreneur model. Not yet as an opportunity to earn extra income. Okay, take note of this. Not yet as the opportunity to earn extra income. So for me, whenever I do this kind of sharing, I am very careful that in my talking to these people, that I will overblown the income part. That's why you see the 10 must ask question. How am I being paid is at question 9. It's not number 1. It's not the most important number 10. It is just a 9 where the way I present is a very passing statement. Why? Because I don't want their focus to be on that. Earning money, no need to say what I keep saying to you all. If you do well, if you perform a job well, money is a natural outcome. But it is performing the job well and right, isn't it? So seeing this as an opportunity to be an entrepreneur. So the whole talk again and again and again is as you engage, okay, the characteristic of this person, see this as an opportunity. Why this is important? Because if this person didn't see this as see that you are offering him an opportunity, people who talk to us always got one kind of attitude like we owe them a living, that we are desperate, that we need them. Somehow there's this vibes going on around that when we recruit people, we are always the desperate one. But today we are offering you an opportunity. Do you see that? Not so much about making money yet. So this is one characteristic. If the person sees it, this is one thing. If the person don't see it, that's your job to lead him on. That's why I lead you to the next door, lead you to the next door, to the next door. That through as we lead you on from not seeing it as opportunity, become wow, finally you see it. Now that is our job. They see it as an opportunity. So do not be deceived to think that you talk to the people, that moment the person sees the opportunity. Very rarely people are like that. That's why we need to talk. That's why there's this thing called convincing. You need to convince. You need to persuade. You need to influence. And all these are skills of persuasion, skills of influencing, Then the second, these people are independent. This is an ideal. Independent doesn't mean that when I need help, I don't ask for help because I'm independent. Let me tell you, independent are people who are willing to ask for help when they need help and offer help when they can provide it. This is how I define independent. Don't be deceived that you're independent means I'm independent. I need help. I also want to ask because I'm independent. Hello. Those are called Rambo. You understand? Those are called Rocky. Those are called Tarzan. If you recruit somebody who is a Rocky, Rambo, Tarzan profile, please do not recruit them. Because our culture cannot fit people like that. So, independent. May I ask you, all of you, when you join this career, are you independent? Are you an independent person? Let me tell you, when I joined, I'm absolutely not an independent person. I am absolutely a very dependent person. Then over time, I learned to be independent. Then again, the key to success is not about being independent. Over time, I learned again, the key, the ultimate key is at the end to realize that is to be interdependent. That is the key. I need you, you need me. But at the point of recruitment, this person be able to stand on his own 2 feet, able to make decision, able to take a position. Now, to me, that is what I mean by independent. The person say that I need to check with my mom, all these things, we respect that, but we hope we can again steer him towards that independent thought, make the decision and take risks and change his mindset. So that is the way it is. That's the way we want to be. A self-starter, they know the big picture. They don't need to be told what to do. Again, this is very ideal. Hopefully, we can find people like that. The moment I talk to you, you're self-starter. These are 4 very clear-cut characteristics. But again, hard to find. But then again, some people are self-starter, but they are not aware. Some people, they have it, but just that past experiences stifle it, bury it, cause them to have that unbelief that they don't have it. So that's our job. That as you talk to a person, this person has that potential. That is our job. When we interview, this person has that potential, but you can see he has past failure, past setback that make him lose that. So how do you interview a person to determine that in the past, he actually has that self-starter personality or type? We go by the word type better. Self-starter type. If you don't understand what I mean by type, like for example, let's say we say dog. Dog is one whole group, but the bulldog type, is one type. That's one type. The bulldog, the Alsatian is one type. So go by the type. Self-starter got one type. What kind of thing as you interview, you become clearer. Then again, it's our job. So these are characteristics. Number 4, understand rewards and sacrifices. No pain, no gain. Now, this becomes very important again because when you talk to a person, when you go through the 30, 60, 90 day, the typical day, the pain, it is painful. And please let them know it's equally painful to you. Guys, we got to know that the 30, 60, 90 days, the remaining day, the ANT, the SIR, all these are painful. You got to know, no pain, no gain, understand rewards and sacrifices. We are here to make sacrifices before we talk about rewards. But the approach in the industry is always talking about all the rewards first, but void of talking about the sacrifices, the pain. But here, I'm very different. I always tell about the pain first. Then if you can accept and embrace the pain and still want to talk, well, to me, that is one take. Okay, that's one take. So begin with the end in mind. This is one of the favorite Stephen Covey's 7 habits of highly effective people. The end is to become an entrepreneur. So if they always talk about the now, it's now. How do you bring him to the then? They will come back to the now. How do you bring them to the then? That's our job. Lots of talking, lots of nagging, lots of meeting. Lots of it. And then sometimes to think of it again, our job actually is a very easy job. I remember when I was an agent, my manager, Mr. Goyang Chai, I got a chance to meet up with his father, okay, the late Mr. Go. That time was still a young man, and sometimes we go to their house, and then we get up, we meet the old man, very friendly Teochew man who is not educated, speak Teochew, and then realized that he was actually a very successful businessman, and his story was amazing. He has gone bankrupt before, and then after bankrupt he came back. It's just a businessman kind of a family. They do business, they can fail. They do business, they can fail. No wonder my boss is successful because he has the businessman DNA in him. It runs in the family. Then one day he talked to me. He speak in Teochew, and that phrase that he made become my mantra in my career. I speak Teochew to you. He talked to me, golden. He cannot speak English, right? So he called me golden. Golden. Then I say, "Ani hao做, 但日行來行去，甲人食飯有累嘢." I translate for you. He said, Gordon, Your business initially is so easy. Every day, walk here, walk there, eat with people. After that, got money to take. Wow, a man with his kind of experience cannot beaten in life, and he summarized insurance in one sentence like that. Every day, like army, you know, walk here, walk there, and just eat with people, eat breakfast, lunch, and talk. After that, you got money take. And I listened to him. Wow, he in his insight and experience, he defined our business until like that, no. And to him is that if he has a chance to start over again as a young man, he will not do any other business except insurance. Why? Don't need to have worker problem. Don't need to have inventory problem. Don't need to have rental problem. Don't need to have worker go on strike problem. He has gone through all these things, you know. Ours, we don't have all these things. And whatever business we do is hard, solid cash go into our bank account. In real business, there's no such thing. Things called on credit, take loan, overdraft. Our business, no such thing. To him is everything cash, and we just meet people, eat lunch, breakfast, dinner, talk, the money take. He said, where to find this kind of business? But yet, when we talk to people, convince them, recruiting, it's basically eat and talk. Then if we got it, we got money to take, but we see so painful. But to an old man, he's just smiling. Wow, insight. Powerful statement. But let's not wait until we reach that age. Then we discover that we are doing basically that. It is true. This is what we do. Amazing. This is what we do. Okay. Now I want to move on to share with you 6 insights about recruiting FSFT. See, the word is called insight. It's not called strategy. So you need to know this insight as you talk to a person or in your recruitment. Okay, insight, not strategy. So let me share with you my insight to you as you recruit people to recognize these 6 insights to recruiting FSFT. The first insight, you got to learn, unlearn, and relearn. This is an insight to them and also to you. Just because it's always been done in one way does not mean that it's the only way. So this is to you and also to them. The insight is on both sides for you. Why? Again, especially to the Singaporean team, that all these things that we have been done in one way doesn't mean this is the only way. Today, I present to you another way. I say another way, an additional way, not a new way that you drop the other way. So to a person that you want to recruit, people are very used to doing things one way, their way, like must take salary, must have fixed income, must have a stable environment. Guys, that's the one way, doesn't mean. So we talk about lifelong learning. That's where it comes. So that you can have lifelong employability, so that you can up your social mobility. So it is an insight that when you talk to a person, please remember that it is a conversation about learning, unlearning, and relearning. And this will stay with you for the rest of your career and the rest of your life. And this is the in thing today again. So insight number 1, recruiting them, bring back to the rethinking work. So the whole thing, hopefully you will start to see it linked as your conversation keep coming back to those kind of topics. And the same goes to you. You are now unlearning and relearning and learning. Second, recognize emotional reaction. So when you talk to a person and offer them this opportunity, recognize emotional reaction is very important. For example, when they talk to you, as they talk about themselves or give you objection, recognize their fears, their concern. What are the triggering factors? This is one mistake that many managers during recruitment, we miss. We never watch their emotional reaction. We go in with high motivation, and the moment you go high motivation, it covers up a lot of emotional triggers because those are adrenaline that make it high, look positive, everything good. For me, I will always look for emotional triggers. That's why when I recruit, I'll tell people, this is a very tough career. Emotional reaction, really? Or the person said, no, I cannot because I cannot imagine myself doing sales. Emotional reaction, what is it? Is it fear? Is it negative experience? Is it because you got hurt by agent before? Just like people come to my house, I have a very small dog. Some people just cannot. I said, this dog won't bite. And you know what is the objection? I go to many people's house, they tell me the dog won't bite, but they bite. Everybody tell me the dog won't bite. And because of the statement, they got bitten before. So now they don't believe this statement, my dog won't bite. Are you following me? So emotional reaction, they come to your house, there is this emotional reaction. So when you talk to a FSFT, you look at this insight, is very important. You will surely spot emotional reaction. And it's not logical. It's not logical. Third, understand the basis of change. There's always a reason for change. You don't want to take up this offer, there's always a reason for change. Keep track of organizational, global, national, industry changes and trend. So you notice when we talk about understand the basis of change, when you do your recruitment, you notice in this short few weeks with me, when I share, I talk about what is happening in the world. China, India. It's a national global thing about TFR, total fertility rate. We're talking about flexi agent. We're talking about foreign talent. It's a global thing. From the global thing, we move on to the national. National move on to a company. Company, we move to us and then come on to us. Zoom out, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. So in your discussion, you go widely. This is called convincing factor. You're not recruiting them to join insurance, you know. You're offering them opportunity because the way you talk, the person see this as opportunity, and happen that we are in the insurance industry. You understand what I'm talking, right? You're convincing them about flexi staffing, not from not because joining insurance as a flexi staffing is the trend. Today I may be selling a shoes, I may be selling bicycles. Happen that if you're talking to me, I'm selling bicycles, then I'm offering flexi staffing. So, but it's a bicycle industry. But now I'm in the financial services industry. Get the message, but the trend is a flexi staffing opportunity. But just that if selling bicycle, they're easy to accept. Just the insurance, they freak off again. Watch for emotional trigger. Why insurance? There's a dog bitten by dog before, or has a negative experience, or you know what is it? So if you don't understand this, I give you another example. Today you bring 3 persons into a room, and they sit down there. And as they sit down there, you release a snake, a python. You will immediately see 3 reactions. Do you agree? How many of you are like me? Your daughter will come to my room. Like yesterday, my daughter, 25 years old, come to my room at 11 p.m. I said, why you want to use our toilet? He said, yeah. Straight away, I know in her toilet, there is a beetle or there's a cockroach. Then I asked, so what's in your toilet now? There's a beetle there. Hello, a beetle, you know. You know how small is a beetle? But as long as there's a beetle in that wall down there, she cannot bathe already, no. There's emotion, the thing will come and fly on her and you know, maybe claw into her nose or whatever. Cannot. Then I said, come on. And I said, this kind of conversation happened no how many times. You're so big girl already. Then I said, Ba, can you remove the beetle for me? Then I need to go there and remove the beetle. Then she'll go back to her room. So if I don't remove the beetle, she will use my toilet. So it's up to me. If I want my toilet, I must remove the beetle. Hello, are you understanding emotional trigger? And this happened to my daughter, never mind. My son also like that. When my 2 sons stay in the room, they can be on the bed hitting a cockroach, you know. Wow, they're screaming over a cockroach. Very xia sui one, you know, I tell you. And that one is a command, officer, someone in army. Walao, how to fight a war like that? So recognize emotional trigger. So same as your daughter, right? Now. So let's talk about a room. There's 3 persons sit down there, you release a snake, you will get 3 reactions. One reaction is snake, wow, the further stress out, wow, sweat come out, wow, go into a spasm. Why? Because when she was a young girl, she was bitten by a snake. So the reaction to snakes will bite. The second reaction, see the snake only, wow, take the snake and kiss the snake, stroke the snake. Why? Because he grew up in a kampong. He grew up with snakes. The family are snake catcher. He loves snake. He sees snake. He hide. Wow, snake! I miss snake. I can't ever since I moved to city. I never got a chance to hold a snake. Then the third one, see the snake. Where is the knife? Where is the knife? The father eats snake. Growing up eating snakes. He steal one snake, kill one snake. Are you following me? The one snake, the poor snake is innocent, but got three different reactions. Why? Because of their past experience. Are you getting me? So as a leader, as a strong recruiter, you must understand when you interview a person, the moment you mention insurance, insurance is the snake. And that reaction comes, that fellow got bitten before or past experience. But very rare, you see somebody when you release your insurance, the fellow say, I've been waiting for you, insurance people. What take you so long to look for me? You hardly get this kind of reaction. But recognize all this reaction. Is this a good example for you? There's always, but then you must always tell them the whole key point inside is that recognize that the basis for change. You don't do this so that life is always changing on my side and your side. I'm offering you this opportunity, which you want to change. Then it's a snake. Then it's your job and my job to show him that this snake is harmful. The snake is innocent. Then this is coming already. How do you engage? See the big picture. Zoom in, take a zoom in, zoom out approach like things like this. When look at change, on point 3 is about change. Then look at change from different perspectives. Now, this is where you need to know how to engage in this kind of conversation. Ours is a commission, but people is always, the thing is always about the salary. Or ours is an employer model, but this is always having an employee mentality. People like to be a buyer, but here we are talking about being a seller. But being a seller is fine with them, but selling insurance, meaning selling dogs, I'm fine. Selling dogs, I love it. Now we are selling snakes. Hello, are you getting me again? Selling dogs, oh, it's so cute. Look at the puppy. Selling snakes. And I said, when you sell snakes, you got to put on a wig called Medusa, all the snake in your hair, the Medusa. You got to go to get that first, You go to the YouTube and click this cockroaches in a university. It's a Taiwan university where this professor specialized in studying cockroaches. Hey guys, do you know that if the world has no cockroaches, we are all in serious problem? Cockroaches is part of the ecosystem that cannot do without, no. And he said that then there are two university students come into his lab and they are also going to study under this professor about cockroaches. You know what's the first lesson that these two university students need to do? In the YouTube, we're going to do, it's a very good for training. The first thing they need to do is that there's a fish tank, of course, cover up, and inside got hundreds of cockroaches running all over the place. The first job to this new student who under his training is that they must put their hand inside the fish tank of cockroaches. The first test that they must clear is, you can imagine, ladies, all the cockroaches in your hand, and the professor is, you cannot clear this, get out and go and study something else. And once they clear that, the next lesson, use a hand, take a cockroach and let the cockroach go around your body and enjoy the professor demonstrate first. He take the cockroach, 看这个蟑螂多可爱，哇 ，play with the cockroach 多可爱多漂亮。He see and worship the cockroach. So if you cannot reach the stage of worshiping and loving the cockroach, see the beauty in the cockroach, you see one, you kill one. 蟑螂啊，小强见一个打一个 ，correct no? When I read that, when I see the video, and I train agent, it's the same thing. The first thing you want to join, the cockroaches, each cockroach represent one rejection. Can you get used to rejection first? Until you can accept rejection will come in whichever form. You can get out and go and find a job that don't give you rejection. But it's a very good YouTube training. Don't you agree? So same, recognize that the zoom in, Then from passive to active, dormant to fearful, swiping to calling. You know what is swiping? Before they join, their handphone is swipe. Now they join, it's no longer swipe, it's call. It's a word change, Suddenly now swiping, there's no problem. Now you got to call. It's a change. Then from work to flexi, stress to opportunity, drought to making rain. It's a drought, but you're a rainmaker. And from past to now to future. See, you talk about the big picture, then you zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. This is how you talk. This is an insight for you as you talk to a person. The last, which is this word I told you. Just now I said there's one word you need to recognize throughout the whole process. And this word is called, not yet this one, that's a 0.6. Okay, so 0.5 first talk to a mentor. Okay, he or she may be able to provide a different perspective of things. So at the end of all this thing, ask them, do you have anybody you want to talk to? Seek their opinion. Most of the time, they will tell you don't have. Most of the time, they tell if I talk to my husband, then finish. Or I talk to my parent, then finish. Are you getting me? Then some of them will come back and say, Gordon, after that, I talked to 3 friends, test market. All my 3 friends say no. I always got this kind of response. They will talk to people, but come back, all no. Please, don't join. If you join, don't call me. So they test the market, they say it's a no. But then you must provide the mentor. You must provide the senior. And this is what I usually do. I say, look at the name list that I have here. Look at my office outside there. For example, let's say JLIM organization. Let's say Jeffrey interviews somebody. And Jeffrey said, would you like to talk to some seniors or mentors in our organization? Because talking to me, you may think that I'm biased. I have a vested interest. Talk to the people outside there. Can you see them? Then all you busy down there. I say, you can choose any one of them. I give you their name. Their name is here. You can see the name. Kamal, Marcus, Carlos, Thomas. You choose anyone. I say, anyone? Yeah, just choose anyone. Or you want me to recommend? He said, what are you? Your job is I'm an accountant. Oh, I have 2 accountants here. You want to talk to an accountant? So let's say they choose one person and say, okay, but their concern is that if I meet them, what do I talk? I don't know them. What do I talk to them? See, you got to ask them very honest question. But then they still don't know what to ask. I said, maybe I can give you a list of questions when you talk to them. So you don't have to worry what to talk. You just follow the question. So what are the questions? Standard question. Let's say you arrange, happen that I made up with Kamal. So first thing is that if you meet Kamal, this is the question you must ask Kamal. First standard is Kamal, how long have you been in the business? What do you do before you join this business? Then how did you end up joining this business? So very standard, very pleasant. So, okay, when you join, what are problem, challenges you encounter? How did you overcome them? Now the difficult question comes in. Have you ever thought of quitting? So our normal way of motivation, never, ever since I joined, every day is a brand new day. I love it, guys. This is a terrible answer. If people ask me, have you ever thought of quitting? Oh, when I joined, every day I also want to quit. Then what makes you stay? Then you give your answer. Every time I want to quit, then I look at the reason why I join again. The reason why I join, then the reason I want to quit, I can overcome again. Then tell me what's the most painful. Then you ask all these difficult questions. What if your client don't want to buy? Did your client ever give out, ever got scolding before this and that? Ask all these questions. Then the last question is the most important. Come on, is Jeffrey real? Then they'll say, ask something like that. You better ask, if they hate me, this is the best time for them to whack me. Is Jeffrey real? Is he who he said he is? He talked about his training system. He has all these things set up. Is it real or is just bluffing me? Come on, if you are a mortal enemy of Jeffrey, don't you think this is the best time you're going to get it on him and say, Gordon, I'm already stuck, okay? I suck already. I can't get out. Please don't join him. He's nice, but you know, okay, I tell you. You think I'll join? But if from Kamal, he said, is Jeffrey real? He is more than real. I wouldn't be where I am without joining him. Why do you say that? Now, that is called 0.5. Talk to a senior, talk to a mentor. But if you have no confidence your people will talk like that to you, you better don't adopt 0.5. You understand? Because this one cannot stage. I'm confident my people will say things that I'm confident they will say. And I will, in front, say, I want to talk to this person. This person will come out, okay? I will, in front of this person, make the call and call Kamal to come in. Kamal, this candidate want to talk to you and would like to have a one-to-one session, talk to a senior. You know, our system, this is a talking to senior session, we call referencing. So I'll excuse myself for 45 minutes, you'll talk, okay? After that, I'll come back. So let them talk. This is very powerful. Then that's where the last point I want to share with you is a word I want to say. This is a word called conversation. Conversation. As long as you have that conversation open, you know, you can manage their emotion, you can clear confusion, you can give clarity, you can reduce their stress, and of course, there are many, many, many more reasons. So just now I used the word, I said there's one word that you must always remember throughout the whole process, keep that conversation open. As long as the conversation is open, it's not shut, you can continue to influence. And keep the conversation open is in the Hard Truth 7 called engagement, the 3 E's. Encounter, engagement, experiences. So if you continue the 3 E's, so just now the question is that what if he doesn't reply my call? You see, if he doesn't reply my call, he doesn't want to respond to my text, the conversation shut. The moment it's shut, there's nothing we can do. But as long as the person is willing to respond, the 3 E's, you will be able to influence because the conversation is still ongoing. And this applies to anything, whether it's parenting or boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, you must always have that open conversation. So these are the 6 insights for you. Thomas, you're asking me to go back to Insight 1 and 5, is it? To show the slide again, is it? Okay. Okay. So these are the insights that I can share with you. It doesn't just apply to recruiting FSFT, but our focus and our context is on that. Okay, which is very important from this perspective. All right, so we're going to have a breakout after all this discussion. And in your breakout, please have a robust discussion. And the breakout has 2 different segments. For the Malaysia, Indonesia, you will break out on this discussion. And for the Singaporean, you only break out on the other discussion because the context, the 2 countries is very different. So number 1, this is for the Malaysian and the Indonesian, okay? Now that you understand about flexi staffing and foreign talent, how is this different from your part-time agents? Okay, this one, the Singaporean team, this is not for you because we don't have part-time agents. So if you also break out and discuss this, it's not relevant. So please screenshot this. So for the Singaporean, this is your discussion in your breakout. Now that you understand about flexi staffing and foreign talent, what are the challenges you will face and how will you overcome them? Okay, what are the challenges? Because you cannot take them, you cannot contract them. Not like the Malaysian can contract them. No issue at all, but ours we can't. And then even we train them, they cannot sell because they got no license. Singapore is very strict about it. So how do I circumvent this? Okay. But please do not say not possible. Then you are shutting it off. Then no need to talk already. Then all our recruiting mastery talk that come to this point is a waste of time. Really cannot work, so talk . All right. So Elaine, break them up and come back at 4 p.m.
Okay.
Or maybe no need so long 3:50 will do
It's like half an hour, right? Okay.
35 minutes like that
Okay. Okay, I'm opening all the rooms now. Bye-bye.
Hi. Cik Lin nggak ikutan ya. Tapi menarik sih tadi itu saya dapat beberapa yang tadi itu bagus ya yang di-share sama ini Adeline ya. Tapi itu yang kemarin yang saya ngomong sama Cililin tuh, karena sekarang ini kan kandidat masuk rethinking, kemudian kita undang dia, catch up, kemudian kita undang dia, time must ask question, dia ikut terus tuh, kemudian kita undang dia lagi, NT, dia ikut terus. Tapi di satu poin, ya itu yang saya bilang tuh, sesudah time must ask question, kita kasih break untuk terjadi ini ya. Iya, karena dari pengalamanmu, bro, yang kamu dapatkan dari Lisda, dari siapa lagi? Dari Laras, gitu. Ya, apa pembelajaran yang kamu dapatkan dari sana, bro? Tapi apakah kamu ada, maksudnya kamu juga merasakan bahwa kayaknya nggak cocok nih, tapi kamu memperbolehkan mereka melalui prosesnya. Tapi data apa yang membuat Bro Hansen mengatakan bahwa kayaknya nggak cocok buat dia, tapi toh kamu memperbolehkan dia lalui gitu. Hmm. Yang si Akita kita siapa namanya ya? Laras ya, Laras ya. Oke. Oh, sebenarnya nggak kepikir ya, bro. Nggak sempet tanyain juga. Kok kamu lompat sana lompat sini? Ada apa ya? Apa yang membuat kamu lompat gitu? Ya, itu nggak ke data itu nggak dapat. Hmm. Tapi kamu melalui Master the Future dan dia. Hmm. Padahal dia Gen Z ya. Gen Z, oke. Menarik. Hmm. Secara dewasa sih memang beda ya. Dewi itu berbeda ya. Ya, mungkin juga karena perjalanan yang dia lalui ya, gitu ya. Bantu. Iya. Wah, lama itu kok bisa sembunyi gitu. Hmm. Catherine juga menghilang ya. Oke. Ya anak muda lah, anak muda. Oke. Yang mana tuh? Iya itu yang sebenarnya sih kalau iya itu kan yang saya ngomongin tuh. Maksudnya kalau mau seperti itu, everybody do their own lah. Ya kita nggak usah collaborate lah, gitu kan? Kalau mau seperti itu gitu loh. Dan at the end of the day juga kadang kita berpikir bahwa apakah saya gitu loh. Apakah saya gitu ya? Apakah saya atau jangan-jangan yang kandidatnya? Ya karena kan Ciling kan lihat kan dia punya batch 1, 2, 3 itu semua rontok. Yang kemudian ya berarti bahwa ya yang makanya yang saya bilang gitu loh. Sesudah rethinking, catch up, 10 must ask question, kita break. Untuk dapat interaksi, dapat ngobrol ya. Di sana mungkin ada masa the future gitu ya. Untuk kita kenal dia, untuk cari tahu apakah kita satu value sama dia. Can we go together? Gitu kan? And yes, betul, betul. Tapi kalau misalnya Ciling mau ambil lagi semua kembali gitu ya, maksudnya dia melihat bahwa apa yang dia lakukan di kemarin, it works. Menghasilkan Christian, menghasilkan Monik mungkin, menghasilkan itu. Tapi kalau misalkan kita mau maju ke depan, mau lakukan sendiri semua seperti itu, wah, it will be, yeah. Bukan cuma burnout, ada limitation. Ada keterbatasan yang kita dapat lakukan gitu. Wah, saya sih Superman, saya bisa lakukan semuanya, Bu. I think you can do it as well, Batman. Tapi bagaimana kita memberikan kekuatan kita masing-masing itu, ya kan? Kerbau itu dia bisa tarik misalkan 200 kilo satu kerbau nih. 2 kerbau itu bisa tarik 1 ton. You see? Mau ambil 3 kerbau itu ternyata tarik 3 ton loh. It's just amazing gitu loh. Tapi kalau cuma mau tarik 1 ya sudah, ya 200 kilo. Nah itu yang ya tapi again ya kita coba. Kan nggak pernah jalanin ya, coba aja. Mau coba, mau jalan sendiri, jalani aja. Kita lihat. Ya makanya perlu klarifikasi kan. Ya. Yang meeting sama banyak-banyak orang itu kan ketika Ciling ngomong kayak gitu kan saya seperti tabrak dia gitu. Karena jangan sampai karena kegalauan dia, karena itu sudah mau ngambil keputusan loh. Meeting itu sudah hampir mengambil keputusan. Gitu? Jadi saya masuk untuk coba pikir dulu deh sebelum kita lakukan itu. Nah itu sih. Atau kalau mau materi ya, maksudnya kita nggak, kalau kebanyakan kepala bawa nanti, jadi lebih baik adalah dipecah aja. Itu bahan itu ada apa, dipecah. Yang berhubungan dan produk, training segala macam, ya dipecah 1, 2, 3 orang buat gitu loh. Lagi pula sebenarnya kita sebenarnya sudah punya bahannya kan, sudah ada gitu loh. Tinggal kita masukin aja beberapa hal atau kita review lagi gitu. Itu aja kan sebenarnya gitu. Betul, betul. Betul. Gitu ya. Dan apa? Kalau mau yang idenya itu adalah kan referral itu jangan kasih bagian presentasi aja. Ya makanya Kak itu ada bagian di presentasi itu, sebelum presentasi kan ada bagiannya yang diomongin gitu loh. Dan sebenarnya itu adalah flow. Adalah flow gitu. Yeah. Cuma itu adalah SOP untuk memberitahu kepada prospek klien bahwa ini pola saya bekerja. Sama dan dokter menjelaskan gitu loh bagaimana pola dia bekerja. Tadi saya baru konsul dokter, ya kan? Tensi saya kan 140/90. Jadi Silvi bilang pergi cek. Ya udah pergi cek lah. Ya, pergi cek, dokternya cek, you are normal, Pak. Tapi kalau kamu mau cari tahu lebih lanjut, then next month you datang. Tapi you bukan ketemu saya, you ketemunya dokter jantung. Jadi dia menjelaskan gitu kan. Nah, sesudah itu dari titik itu kemudian kita cari tahu ada apa gitu loh. Kalau kamu memang concern ke arah sana, ya itu kan namanya SOP bekerja toh. Iya. Ya. Karena Ciling tipe yang kalau boleh sekali ketemu langsung sahabat. Cuk. Ketemu klien kalau bisa langsung sahabat kepala. Cuk. Tapi kan belum tentu yang pakai pisau ini secanggih itu bisa langsung sahabat gitu loh. Ya, menarik sih. Maksudnya ya itu menjadi kekuatan kita masing-masing kan. Ya. Sehingga muncullah Christian hari ini. Christian Philips Asa itu kan adalah hasil produk dari pembimbingan Ciling kan. Kalau you bisa ketemu satu kali, you langsung sahabat. Ketemu dari presentasi, ya, handle objection, membuat program, handle objection, closing. Satu pertemuan. Wah, faktanya adalah ketika buat janji kan nggak seperti itu gitu loh. Berarti ada sesuatu yang chaos tuh. Ya, padahal kalau misalkan orang dikasih waktu gitu ya, maksudnya dia bertemu nih dengan para millennials, let's say 30 tahun, single, tidak pernah memikirkan tentang keuangan masa depan, tidak pernah gitu loh. Christian datang memberikan dia pemikiran, and You think about it lah, okay? Dia kasih sailboat lah, dia presentasi sailboatnya, and kemudian you think about it. We'll meet up again in a next week. Is it okay? Keren gitu loh, ya nggak? Keren gitu. Nah, jadi nggak kayak sales gitu. Sales kan mau cepat-cepat closing, Dan itu kan menjadi sebuah experience ya. Menjadi sebuah experience oleh si klien nanti untuk dia refer. Nah, itu sih, itu menurut saya ya. Iya, saya dapat itu juga, Bo. Bahwa that is the main skill. Bukan closingnya loh. Yeah. Yes. Betul. Yang kamu bikin kincir angin itu, Bro. Wah, that's perfect gitu loh. Yang kamu bikin tuh. Ya, sesudah call, prospect, meeting, presentasi, referral di bawah, naik ke atas lagi prospecting tuh. Ya, saya bikin satu garis ke atas ya, prospecting itu loh, untuk dia putar lagi itu. Itu sempurna gitu loh. Dan itu membuka pikiran orang, right? Iya. Yeah. Dan saya nggak tahu, semoga Christian Phillips mengambil pengalaman dia dulu, dan pengalaman di SIR itu sesudah 8 minggu kan dia mengalami sesuatu tuh. Karena 8 minggu dia nggak closing kan karena dia tabrak tuh. Tabrak di kepalanya, a lot of things lah. Nah, masuk ke minggu ke-9 kan baru dia mulai mendapatkan ritme. Dan dia ada closing. Dan dalam 4 minggu terakhir itu dia closing 170 juta. You see? Dan kedepannya kalau dia 4 minggu bisa closing 170 juta, dia boleh ambil pembelajaran dalam 4 minggu itu untuk minggu-minggu ke depannya gitu. Kan sebenarnya pola gitu. Dan can I do the job? Itu kan pola. Kita mau kasih dia lihat pola bekerjanya kayak gini nih. Yeah, I think itu very smooth gitu ya. Dan juga itu sebuah implikasi kepada si klien bahwa I'm doing this cuma dengan orang yang saya kenal. Karena this is very private. Ini sesuatu yang pribadi gitu loh. Ini sesuatu tentang hidup kamu. Dan ini bukan sesuatu yang dibagi-bagikan kepada orang lain. Yeah. Well, yang membedakan ya, orang hafal skrip dan tidak hafal skrip. Yang tidak hafal skrip, dia lari kemana-mana. Tapi yang hafal skrip sama dengan hafal teks lagu, Bo. Ya, gitu ya. Bagian pertama, bagian kedua, ref. Bagian ketiga, bagian empat, ref. Nah, kalau dia hafal lagu itu kan dia bisa kemana-mana gitu. Dia bisa yang pertama, bagian kedua, ref. Ref. Bagian ketiga, bagian keempat, ref. You see? Yeah. Iya. Kemarin itu kan saya lagi ketemu setiap hari namanya yoga. Ya, yoga. Ya, setiap hari saya kasih dia 1 jam. Jam 8, jam 9 pagi. Jam 8 pagi, Bo. Jam 9 pagi. My God. Salah tuh ya. Akhirnya saya nggak jalan pagi, Bo. Ya, gara-gara dia. Ya, ya sudah, nggak apa-apa. Jam 8, jam 9 pagi. Dia coba lakukan role play. Wow, berantakan sana sini gitu loh. Ya kan? Tapi saya temukan bahwa oke, no problem. Karena ya dia lagi explore gitu ya. Jadi saya nggak marahin dia. Kalau dulu saya langsung marahin dia gitu. Ya, tapi kemudian saya bilang, ada nggak lagu yang lu suka? Dia bilang, ada. Tulus. Apa? Hati-hati di jalan atau apa gitu. Oke, saya bilang, oke. Well, kalau kamu suka lagu itu gitu, dan kamu mau hafal, kira-kira kamu ambil teks lagu dia, yes, kamu ambil gitu. Kemudian kamu hafal kan, bagian pertama, bagian kedua ref, bagian pertama, bagian kedua ref. Kalau kamu sudah hafal, kamu bisa nyanyi dan tulus kan bersama-sama. Ya, tapi waktu kamu nyanyi, kamu bisa rasa nggak si tulus itu nyanyi ada emosinya, kamu merasa di hatimu, yeah. Nah itu level berikutnya gitu. Iya, gitu ya. Ya udah, belajar lagi. Ya tadi saya cross check, kamu sudah sampai mana? Oh sudah sampai sini Pak. Oke oke. Ya next week kita coba. Saya pikir itu, tapi memang ini ya berbeda setiap hari dengan Senin Rabu Jumat. Ya dan bagaimana buat ini, Bo? Saya temukan yang Sifu bilang ya, high frequency. Setiap hari 1 jam dengan Senin Rabu Jumat 2 jam 2 jam 2 jam itu berbeda. Intensitasnya berbeda gitu. Ya, cuma memang waktunya 1 jam. Yes, I think it's good idea, Bo. Kamu kasih 1 jam, 1 jam aja, jangan lama. Saya start at 8, saya betul-betul selesai jam 9. Oke, jam 9 foto, cekak, selesai, bye, cung, putus. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, yes. I think that's a very good idea gitu ya untuk kita lakukan gitu. Nah, dan dengan pola itu juga kan si tim kita cuma tahu bahwa ketika kita kasih dia waktu yang sangat berharga itu, waktu kita yang sangat berharga, ya mereka benar-benar menghargainya gitu. And betul-betul 1 jam saya selesai. Jadi dia ada ritmenya gitu. Oh ini jam 9 dia pasti selesai nih. Dia nggak pernah lebih 2 menit, 3 menit, nggak pernah. Saya terlambat 5 menit pun, saya ada sesuatu, saya tetap selesai jam 9. Ah, ah, ah. Bro, tahan dulu, tahan. Gua ke toilet sebentar. Tahan. Kenapa inaksis itu? 30 menit. Ya. Iya, betul. Oh, kayak terbang gitu ya? Hmm. Dan menjadi sebuah habit. Iya. Wow, that's good. That's good. Nggak gampang juga bawa 30 menit setiap hari. Oh, dia lewat Zoom ya? Jam berapa tuh? Waduh, nabrak. Iya. Saya itu setiap minggu itu cuma 1 hari kosong. Malam hari. Hari Kamis. Dan ada flexi staff hari Kamis. Aduh. Selesai. Iya sih, betul. Oh, betul. Ya itu juga hari Selasa itu kan adalah ini komunitas pelayanan juga. Oh, cap udah selesai. Bukan. Saya di komunitas Amazing Grace. Karismatik. Iya. Iya. Cap itu kan 8 bulan ya kalau nggak salah ya. Oh, dia jadi panitia untuk lanjutannya. Oh, betul. Ya ngurusin sih, maksudnya mendampingi. And it's good though kalau misalkan memang Catherine masih melakukan itu ya. Berarti hidupnya juga cukup balance gitu loh. Ya, dia nggak serta-merta kerja aja, tapi dia itu juga adalah sebuah panggilan ya. And it's good for her gitu. Ya, jadi kalaupun mau adalah ya bos itu pecat gue lah. Nah, sebenarnya sih dengan adanya kondisi seperti itu ya, justru dia perlu cepat-cepat membuat jembatannya gitu. Ya kan? Iya. Nah, itu bodoh itu. Iya. Nah, kalau seperti itu, Bro, jadi kan dia fleksi dulu. Jadi ada jembatannya sehingga eh, karena dia masih butuh penghasilan itu gitu loh. Ya, jadi kan dia betul. Itu sih sebenarnya ya. Ya tinggal ini apakah dia memperbolehkan dirinya untuk melalui perjalanan itu gitu. Ya kan? Iya betul. Iya. Iya. Iya, karena dia sudah pernah melalui sebuah tahap ya dalam hidup dia gitu. Dan apa yang dia akan lalui itu nggak ada apa-apanya gitu. Oh ya, ya itu kan semua pengalaman ya. Iya. Nah, tinggal mungkin ya dia diajarin untuk mendapatkan pasar yang benar. Ya. Kan kalau dia punya skill yang benar, cara yang benar, ya tinggal ketemu pasar yang benar kan. Itu aja. Itu akan menjadi tantangan. Itu akan menjadi tantangan. Ya. Oke.
Recording in progress.
Okay, everyone is back. Yeah, so sorry, just now I switched some of y'all around cause I realized last minute Gordon say like according to countries, right? Yeah, then I had to switch some of y'all around. Okay, let me see whether Gordon's around. Oh no, his screen is off. Is he around? Is he back? Okay, you're back. Okay.
Don't worry, Elaine, I'm always around. Okay, Cora, one group.
Okay, how? Let me start with maybe let me call on room 10. There is Joyce, PK, and Rachel. Who is sharing?
Okay, from our group discussion, the characteristic of a part-time agent, number one is they come in just to try the industry. So second thing is they come in just want to earn some extra income. So come with part-time mentality and low commitment. Low commitment on training time and sales activity. Does not see this business opportunity. Six is hard to be trained as not willing to put in effort and time. Always give excuses for not attending meetings and training. These are the few characteristics of a part-time agent. However, for flexi staff, candidates see opportunity and serious on their decision. Two is with full-time mentality, come with entrepreneurial mindset, committed to learn, unlearn, and relearn. Six is willing to go through the pain and sacrifice on the commitment timetable. Confidence level increase as they are well trained, willing to accept the 5 A's and sign MOU with leader for 12 months, maximum 12 months. So the success rate should be better than part-time agent. That's all. Thank you.
Okay,
Okay.
let's hear another group, another Malaysia, Indonesia group.
Malaysia, Indonesia. Let me call on room 5. There is Beth, Hok Soon, and Yok Mei.
Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Me.
Sorry. Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay. All right. Through our discussion, we feel definitely there's a very big difference from FSFT and also part-timers agents. First thing first, in terms of the mindset, I think especially for as a leader, right? Once we position ourselves to recruit FSFT, right? First thing first, we will be very straight in terms of selection in the sense. Because through our experience when we're recruiting part-timers, they position them like where they only will do the business when they're free. And also they feel themselves not like so important in the group. So once I recruit through FSFT, right, the positioning of their when they come in and also the mindset and selection process will be very different. So and just I also mentioned in the group, imagine say, hey, now I would like to recruit to form this special FSFT unit for professional. I think the selection part will be different levels already. So that's our discussion during the session. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your sharing.
Thank you.
Next group. Yeah. Next group, I'll call on Marcus group. There's Marcus, Carlos, Jeffrey, and Thomas. Y'all
Thomas,
looking at
you
each
share,
other.
Thomas.
Yeah. Okay, hi everyone, I'm Thomas. So the challenges that we have is more of the legislation. So we have to, if we want to do the ANT program, right, we need their employer to actually sign off a consent form. So I think this is the biggest hurdle that we in Singapore face. So when we're discussing how to overcome this, right, so there are, actually we have been doing with like transition group for quite a while. So we find that the sweet spot is to keep on peeling the onion follow up with them. Like on the day that they decided to leave their job and they want to find another job, right? So we find that this is a sweet spot when they are in between jobs. We offer the A&T program to them by still allowing them to find job if they feel that they cannot do without a job. Yeah, so this is what our group mainly discussed.
Thomas, you said that they need to sign a consent form with who?
It's an industry regulation that is required.
Current employer.
Yeah.
So they need to sign a consent form with Prudential.
Yes. As in the employer had to
current
sign off
employer.
that the employer is aware that, oh, this employee is going to Prudential to become a FC.
They
So
need Gordon, they need to get a consent form from the employer, not from Pru, of course, from the employer to consent to them in a way moonlighting another work. Yes. So with that, and at first we thought it was a Pru requirement, but on further checks, we found out it was an industry requirement.
if this is a requirement, it's as good as very difficult. It's as good as no. Which employer want to sign this kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, Carlos even mentioned his friend's friend who tried to moonlight something else. When approached the HR, he got marked after that by the HR.
Okay, so for the Malaysia and Indonesian, you can see that our Singapore side is very difficult. So before this registration hit your shore in Malaysia and Indonesia, better treasure it and quickly get it up. Okay, but having said that, even in Malaysia and Indonesia set this as a law, you know, in Malaysia and Indonesia got law, macam no law, so it doesn't matter also.
Do it as long as you don't get caught.
Even get caught in Malaysia and Indonesia, also never mind one. Okay, so it's a very different country. Okay, one is a Boleh country, one is a BSAC country, so everything also can. But for Singapore, how can we still go, still do about it? I don't know. Maybe we have an opportunity. We can talk. It's not in the, over here. How can we still do it without them having to tell the employer or Prudential? How can we do that? And yet, so it's a treading on a thin on a thin ice. But how can we still do it? So it's a difficult thing. Okay, right. So that being the case, does it mean that we drop the idea from Singapore side? Does it mean that we really cannot do it? Let's see how it goes. Okay, because if it is not the idea, then Singapore will have no choice but to from here go straight into full time, which is what has been happening all along. In itself, is also a good thing. Okay.
But Sifu.
Yes.
Just a thought there, Sifu, regarding to Singapore situation.
Yeah.
Suppose today is 2017, and the Singaporean, you guys Singaporean talk to a pilot, and talk to a pilot to engage them to have an employability. Yeah. So while the pilot will say, yeah, why not? Yeah. They give their time. Maybe a week, 2 hours, 3 hours through chit chat over the coffee. And when the pandemic comes in 2020, they already prepare for the door that is going to be closed as a pilot. Can it be done like that? Like it is a way to give them the journey, but I don't know whether it is a good idea. In Singapore to do it?
Rudy, it is very difficult, especially if you talk about pilot. You see, if 2017, before this pandemic, pilots are still very high and mighty, up in the sky. They will think that their career is very stable, they're earning good income. It's very hard to talk to a pilot. Okay, even if you show them a crystal ball that 2020 there's going to be a pandemic, the pilot will not believe in you. Okay, so assuming they know there's going to be a pandemic, they will do that. It is very difficult for them to do what you just suggest because being a pilot, their pilot is not used to talking to people because they're in a cockpit most of the time flying, they're all by themselves. They're a very aloof person. It is a career that makes them a person who don't really talk and interact with people. They're all alone. So that's why just now one of the point is about change. So because of the pandemic, many pilots are brought to their knees, okay, to finally realize that no career is guaranteed. You take a virus to bring the whole world to its knees. So that's why everything got to relook. All right, so Singapore side, can we relook into this? Well, we will not waste time on this platform. We'll continue, but I just want to tell the Singapore side, do not brush off this idea. Okay, do not just kill it. We see how we can go. All right. So thank you for your input, Park Rudy. So
Okay.
let's move on. So I want to share from the Singapore Malaysia side. I will share with you my thoughts on the difference between part-time and part-time agents and foreign FSFT. Okay, I'll show you the difference. So as I speak about the difference, I want the Singaporean side to just pick up on the flexi staff side and forget about the part-time side, but it's also for information. Number one, okay, difference between part-time and FSFT. Part-time has severe long-term implication. Flexi staff has potential growth possibility. Part-time has no deadline. Flexi staff has deadline. Part-time has no target. Flexi staff has target. Part-time has lots of expectation. Flexi staff has lots of appreciation. Part-time is demanding. Flexi staff has understanding. Okay, part-time is here to earn extra income. Flexi staff is here to seize the opportunity. Part-time depends heavily on joint field work. Flexi staff depends heavily on empowerment. Part-time has a couldn't care less attitude. Flexi staff has a responsibility attitude. Part-time is easy to recruit. Flexi staff is not as easy to recruit. Part-time is not seen as professional. Flexi staff is still seen as a professional. So to the Singapore side, you just focus on the flexi staff side. So this is still applicable to you. Good 10 points for you. Malaysia, Singapore side. Next to the Malaysia, Indonesia side, to the Singapore side, you can see that it is the flexi staff. Keep focusing on the flexi staff. These are all the benefits that you can think of. All right, we still have some more. Let's continue. Part-time has no respect from others. Flexi staff still has high respect from others. As you can see from the information, part-time tarnish the image of our business. Flexi staff doesn't affect the image of our business. Part-time doesn't value your training. Flexi staff treasures your training. Part-time affects your culture. Flexi staff enhance your culture. Part-time tired you and you are drained. Flexi staff also tired you, but you're fulfilled. Do you agree? Again, these are all the benefits. You agree so far? Not enough? Let me give you some more. Part-time are energy sucker, flexi staff are energy giver. Part-time hardly AGA, agent get agent, flexi staff borders to agent get agent. Part-time stays at part-time. Flexi staff will work towards becoming full-time FC. If not, may become rainmaker. We'll talk about this later. Part-time are mistress, flexi staff are concubine. Full-time FC is spouse. Interesting, right? Point 19. Part-time will have persistency problem. Flexi staff will have lesser persistency problem. How do you like that? So for Singapore, we are a very good country. We don't have mistress problem. We don't have concubine problem. Our Singapore only make us one man, one wife. You know, that's it. Legally married, no other plus. Any plus illegal. Malaysia, Indonesia is a better country. You can have so many concubines, you have so many mistresses, and they live happily ever after. This is a great insight, let me tell you. Because in Malaysia, Indonesia context, you must understand your full-time FCs, these are your so-called your wife, your spouse. But yet, our whole life is bothered by the concubines and the mistresses. Concubines still okay, but the mistresses are the one that give us havoc, that will really drain our life away. So in itself, it's a training and a talk by itself that I give. And the topic of the talk is mistresses, concubine, spouse. How do you like that? Okay. So continue the story with you is this. Part-time is not something you'll brag about. No agency will brag about it. You will never say that. Have you ever been in a convention, APLESS or MDRT, and the speaker is here invited to speak today, ladies and gentlemen. Let me introduce our speaker, our keynote speaker today, and his topic is how do I develop a successful part-time agency? Do you think they will ever give you this kind of topic? You'll never have this kind of topic. Okay. As I told you before, I talked to the Philippines. They have this Gamma association still running. Every year they run a Gamma convention. Singapore, we have FISMA. But all the managers go through to get accreditation. I said that, is it really practical to you? They say it's very good, which I acknowledge is very good because I've gone through that myself. But I said that if you think that it's good, which is really truly is good, is there any modules that teach you how to recruit part-time successfully, and then how to run a part-time agency properly, and then how to grow the part-time agency successfully? There will never be any modules that talk about such thing because it's not a best practice. But yet, in Asia, outside Singapore, the rest of the country, and Japan probably, the rest of the countries around are all a part-time agency culture. But yet we study an American model that don't even mention about it, so there's a mismatch. But yet people study for the sake of study, attend courses for the sake of courses, without thinking about how to solve our problem. It's a cultural thing. It's a cultural thing. That's why in our forum on 23rd of September, please register. Our topic on best practices is winning culture. We're going to talk about that. It's a cultural thing. And if you don't understand the culture, you won't work. So the American got to understand. So for example, the American and China always on loggerhead. The American don't understand China culture. So when they hit China, actually it's a very small thing. But because you did not understand the way Chinese think, and you keep hitting on the angle that you don't understand, in the end, China respond in a way they don't understand. There's one thing that the American can never understand is China is more concerned about face than anything. Which to the American, what face? They all human rights, free speech, democracy. China is face, 面子, you understand? So to China, you must understand 5,000 years of history, this face, 5,000 years of face. So the American don't understand this concept. So if you don't understand this concept, you don't know how to approach the conversation. So recruitment, all this thing, we got to understand this is a cultural thing. Part-time in your region is a culture. How do you approach it? Okay, so in my training, when I go to Indonesia, I have a topic called how do you develop a successful part-time agency? Oh, I tell you, full house. Because that's what everybody want to hear. And I don't talk from the angle of a ridiculing. How can you all do part-time? I can't. I respect the culture. There is a culture that will do part-time. I cannot reject that culture. But since you're going to have a part-time culture, then let me help you run it properly. Okay, so recruitment leaders, you got to understand that because each of your agency, you have a culture and we got to respect the culture. Okay, so I think I've given you enough of differences between part-time and full-time FSFT. Now, then what about the Singapore side and also Malaysia side? I want to share with you 4 questions. These 4 questions will help you on the Singapore side. This will be very applicable to you now. In answering your question, now that you understand FSFT, what are the challenges you face and how are you going to overcome it? And this 4 questions is also applicable to the Singapore, Indonesia, but it applies to everybody. So to the Singapore side, hopefully this can help you. I'm going to throw you 4 questions. So from these 4 questions, hopefully you can get some insights into the FSFT issue in Singapore and to the rest too. The first question is, how do you recruit agents or how do you train agents? Second question, how do you recruit FSFT? How do you train FSFT? Third question, how do you recruit COI? How do you train COI? Fourth question, how do you recruit rainmaker or how do you train rainmaker? So now in your mind is, how is this 4 question related to all the things we talk about? FSFT, running a FSFT agency, a business unit, how is this related? So the 4 question How do you recruit agent or train agent? How do you recruit FSFT or train FSFT? How do you recruit COI or train COI? How do you recruit a rainmaker or train a rainmaker? We attend many talks, okay, especially producer, okay, sales talk, whether a TOT, COT, MDRT. You hear this very often whenever somebody asks a question, Q&A, how did you get so many clients? Because the MDRT, COT, they have clients, they never run out of clients. And you always hear from them is that, okay, I get it from my COI. Familiar? And then you ask further, how did you get your COI? I say, you got to build your COI. But the frustrating thing is that they will never tell you how they get their COI, how they build their COI. Do you agree? They just tell you COI. That means like that, who don't know? How come you got so fit? You got 6 packs, all this. I exercise. But they don't tell you how you exercise. Oh, I eat properly. You don't tell me how you eat properly. So that's the frustration of many seminars. They don't tell. Then I come to you as a manager. How do you recruit or train agent? How do you recruit and train FSFT or COI? Are you going to talk to your friends, your market out there? My dear friend, I want to develop COI. Would you be my COI? Can you come and be my COI? I got this program to train you to be COI. If this is what you do, nobody will ever come. Who will want to come and spend time to your trainer to be your COI? Come on, talk to me. Do you agree? And then same token, you say that, oh, I have a rainmaker program. I want to help you become a rainmaker. Rainmaker for whom? For insurance industry, then who will bother? Because rainmaker is a very highly employable, not a profession. It is a skill. I told you before in the previous session, rainmaker in the East is not a very familiar term, but in the West, which last week I shared with you about the lawyer in the Forum 400 platform. Many of these law firm, accounting firm, they have staff inside there who are not a lawyer or accountant, but they are a rainmaker. Means they are in the company. They may not be a lawyer, accountant, or whatever, but their skills is to cut deals for the lawyer and the clients. So anybody in the world, you may not have any qualification, but you have the ability to cut deals. That is a rainmaker. Cut deals and bring a deal from A and B match. This person in the center, rainmaker, will be handsomely rewarded. So that's a HR company. They match client facing, candidate facing, and they match. That is our job too. But for us, we don't have to face a client. Our client is fixed. We only need to candidate facing, but we cannot find a match. You notice that? Because we're too spoiled and pampered with the wrong way of getting things very fast. That's how the industry has spoiled us, has so-called destroyed the beauty of this concept. Then how do you train a rainmaker? Now, if you understand where I'm coming now, I'm going to give you the answer. The answer to the 4 questions is the same. One answer these 4 questions. The answer is A and T, attach and train. Can you link now? You see, if you don't see the link, if now I explain to you, as I expand it further, you will see the beauty of this 30, 60, 90 days called AMT. You will no longer say, oh, so painful, just the thought of going through this onion of building 30, 60, 90 days. At the end of the day, the chances of them staying is still very low, or it's painful. But now I open up to you another world, another dimension, that this 30, 60 days is actually a program for you to subtly, unconsciously bringing your candidate in. You are actually training your COI. That you know that they may not join, high percentage of people won't join, but when they go through the 90 days, they have unconsciously, subtly go through a program that you train them and you identify them who could be your potential COI, but they have been trained for 90 days. But if you say that, can I train you for 90 days? Nobody will come. Do you see that? If you see that, that means this 30, 60, 90 of A&T has high value. That means to me, I'm a businessman. Whether you join me as an agent or not, it doesn't matter to me. The fact that you go through my 90 program, I have trained you to be my COI and my rainmaker, because that will follow up by conversation. Oh, you may not join. This is not for you. Have you discovered that in 90 days, I have made you a rainmaker? The first say, what do you mean? That's why you expand up, open up. But if you say come for my 90, they will never come. Do you see the value there? Now, how many people will be willing to go through a 90-day program who are not in our industry? And then at the end of 90 days, they understand our business. They understand, well, I didn't know your business is like that. You see, I told you from day one, you got to be very clear. Ours is not the best career. Please accept that and be honest about it. Ours cannot be the best career, but it is the best for me. So now that you go through my 90 days, I am glad you discover that this is not for you. But not for you doesn't mean this is a bad career. Do you agree? People say yes, like many of you. If you don't like to eat vegetarian food, that doesn't mean that you condemn vegetarian food. Do you agree? I don't like to eat vegetarian food, but I can tell people this vegetarian store is very good. That is the nature of a person. So when I go through the 30, 60, 90 days, I don't understand insurance industry. I have an perception of insurance industry. But today, because of this ANT, it opened up my mind to realize that, wow, insurance is very beautiful. The way they sell is so professional. The way they put in effort to train and to learn blow my mind away. They put in so much effort just to learn how to sell insurance, to find customer. Wow. But after going through, really, it's not for me. But now I'm willing, can you help? Would you recommend people? I said, wow, now they understand how it works, especially in your agency, I will surely recommend. Guys, you have trained a COI. You're trained a rainmaker. So if from that angle, it is high value, even if they don't join, you are happy to go through the 30, 60, 90 days. So I open up further for you, which many managers make a severe mistake. When you recruit an agent, what is the first thing you will tell the agent to do? Is to do MDRT, COT, TOT. Correct? That's a mistake, my dear friend. You see, today talk to me, all the things you know seems to be flip, Mistake, man, do MDRT, COT. Of course, we want them to do MDRT, COT, but you got to understand from a business perspective, as a manager, as a leader, what is your number one preference and one priority over your agents? When an agent joins you, they want to do MDRT, COT, TOT. That one, that's needless to say, you as an agent, what is your goal? Your goal is to do well in sales. So you do sales for whom? For me? Please don't do it for me. Please do it for yourself. Please do it for your family. That is my morphosis language. So if you do it for yourself, you do it for your family, do I need to motivate you? No. So as a manager, what I want to emphasize to my agent and train to my agent is this. If you see a client, a prospect, see, that's my training to my agent, the right business training, understanding of business, not just in our insurance industry, but to any industry in the world. When you meet a prospect A and prospect B, prospect A says that, Gordon, I will buy a policy from you and I'll pay a yearly premium. And for the rest of your life, your career, I will not refer a single person to you, but I'll buy now, I'll pay you yearly premium. Prospect B said, I will not buy from you, but I will continually refer business to you. My dear agent, which would you choose, A or B? All of you, I can guarantee you, you will tell me it's B. Of course, I prefer that you will refer business to me. See, you got the right answer. But many of you got the right answer. You may not do it, because the case is right in front, because there's another saying, a bird in your hand is still better than the bird in the sky. So I will spend my time, my priority to train my agents how to get referrals. Because if that person knows how to get referrals, meaning unending leads, then I don't have to worry about his business because he has a way to find leads. That's why today lead generation is a big topic. That's why social media is about data management. It's a lead generation. Why is Facebook, all these things doing so well? Data, lead gen. Now I stop here. Agree, disagree, challenge me, come on. Hello, today, aha. So you see, I've gone through in my agent's day or agency leader day, we go through final sprint, chiong, especially the final sprint. Final sprint last 3 months, then last month, final sprint, final month, final day, final push, final minute, appeal, path, oh, I'm the happy. Then after that, the agent, you ask them, next year do again. Do you notice the agent is blank? Because they don't know how they do it, no. Because it's so pressured, no. The quarter is so pressurized, no. I trust you know what I'm talking about. Many of us, in fact, almost all of us who've gone through that kind of thing, experience that. The final sprint is a high pressure, final sprint, zoom, zoom, zoom. But next year we stress because those clients that we go back and squeeze to buy, repeat, it's been squeeze. And after you do 10 final sprint, you reach a point, you're tired. You're afraid of the word final sprint again. Oh, but then the thing come again. Because January to September, you don't work, ma. It's become a habit, ma. But we don't teach us how to get referrals. We don't understand that helping our agent to meet clients to get referrals is most important as meeting client to do sales appointment. This is one side that's severely lacking in training and teaching. So to me, when I train my agency, in Finexis today, I can tell you in our agency, fresh graduate or we turn up front. Over here, we only teach referrals. And our people successfully can get referrals. But many people are surprised. Can man Singapore? I say, Ken, we have been doing that even until they speak to you, it's all referrals. And those who are in my class right now, they are with me, they've been with me for 10 years, they're getting referrals. So if you buy this argument, now we come to recruitment. Today, if you have a candidate, A, who say that, Gordon, I can join you as a full-time agent or FSFT, but I will not AGA you. Or the other one say, Gordon, I will not join you as an agent or FSFT, but I will continue to AGA you. Which one will you take? If you say, I'll take this full-time agent because this full-time agent said that when I join you, I will be a TOT, Gordon. But I will not AGA you, but I'll be a TOT. I use TOT. The other one, I will not join you, but I continue to AGA. My dear manager, which one will you take? I guarantee you this time is different already. Many of you will say TOT or MDRT COT. I guarantee you that. Because many managers only want production. Guys, let me tell you this. I would rather have 6 agents that combine production equal to 1 MDRT than have 1 MDRT and that's it. I would rather have 6 agents that do MDRT equal to 1 TOT than have 1 TOT and the others are nothing. Because if I only have 1 TOT, the further give me pin poach, go to other company, I'm finished. But if I have 6 MDRT, 2 left, I still have 4 MDRT. I'm talking to you as an agency leader. I see it as a business approach, understanding agency. I'm not interested in producers. When I say that, I'm saying with a pun. Of course, I'm interested, but as a manager, I'm very clear. If I have 2 agents, one is a producer, one who is an AGA king. I take AGA king anytime more than the producer. Do you understand where I'm coming now? Because I'm a manager, I'm building teams. So when I recruit a candidate, this candidate, in my mind is that the onion peeling process, most of them will not join, but I will still go through the 30, 60, 90 days because this candidate they are not aware subtly I am building you to be my COI and my rainmaker. So therefore, what is the key? Which is the key that you need to understand? The key is that when this candidate go through your 30, 60, 90 days, your 30, 60, 90 days has to be so well run, so professional, so good that when they go through, they're all shocked. When they look at your commitment, look at the way it's run, that they say, free. I didn't expect this 30, 60 days to be like that. That's how it shocked them. To know that your 30, 60 days is such a high value, or the sir is so professionally run, is so good, is so high value, that it indeed, when they go through the 90 days, it gives them the high employability, but in the end, they did not join, you rejoice, you don't get upset. Alamak, I spent 90 days in the end like that. Guys, you have trained a COI, a rainmaker. But having said that, still doesn't mean 10 coming 10 becomes COI. It's still selection part of it, but somehow along the way, you will get people who turn to you and say that, I'm so impressed by the way you're trained. No ulterior motive, you're just give. And this 90 days, I'm totally a different man, but I want to tell you, insurance is really not for me. You rejoice with this person. Because this person will AGA you. And I want that more than you join me. Hello, are you getting me? This is the key I want to deliver to you. To the Singapore team especially. Wow, talk until I chuan again. Because if I don't deliver this, many managers feel very discouraged, you know. Wow, Gordon, the pain. You don't understand this ANT solve a lot of problem, I'm telling you. So the key is you got to run a very professional ANT. That the person come in and come out, my powerful 90 days question now, compared to 90 days ago, remember, by that powerful question, and now, compared now and 90 years ago, you know, you will see that I'm a totally different guy. That means this 90 days, if you were to put a dollar value in it, which is, question is asked in the 10 must ask question, how much would you put on it? But yet you paid nothing. I'm happy you come. Do you think you have friends who need this? I tell you, I will tell you, I guarantee I'll bring my friends. That's it, guys. You have trained a COI. You have trained a rainmaker. Okay. So the 4th question is one answer. How do you train a recruit agent? It's ANT. Before they become agent, all these things, ANT they go through first. How do you train FSFT? The ANT. How do you build COI? ANT. How do you build Rainmaker? ANT. That's the answer. Then from ANT, they one day become full-time. Next week, the module, you will go through the SIR. You'll be shocked again. The SIR is much more demanding than the ANT. Much more. But you put these two together, guys, you're going to have a fantastic 90 days program. You will have a fantastic 90 days program. So do you still have that kind of feeling like, wow, 90 days painful? Now with this, you realize that, wow, then the 90 days you see from another perspective already. It is meaningful. Singapore, even though the registration, we still cannot think of the way to break it, but I will still do it because that is the only way to bring them through. Because you want to recruit them full-time, nobody will come through the 90 days, nobody. But how do we present that they're willing to come, but subtly you're observing them? Your pitch is eventually to make them a COI or rainmaker, and hopefully through it, they see the beauty, they're willing to come in full-time. Later, we open up for some question, okay? If you, I guess you are too overwhelmed with what I say that you got no question to ask, is it? Yes, Hangam, Pak Hangam from Indonesia, yes. Yeah. Hangam, I don't understand your question. Okay, I try to understand what Hangam is saying. Guys, when I say that the 90-day make them a COI, rainmaker, all this thing, the 90-day doesn't, quote unquote, after they finish 90 days, okay, I'm going to be a rainmaker, okay, I'm going to be a COI. The 90-day only make them understand our business, they like it, they appreciate, they are willing to refer. But if you stop there, then you're fooling yourself that somebody is naturally ready. I'm telling you, the 90 days make them ready to become a rainmaker or COI. But you must have a way to develop this person to be a COI or rainmaker. That is another part. The 90 days make them willing now. But to be able to continue to develop them is another big thing, no. That's another total different module altogether, no. So don't come to me one day, 6 months later, say, oh, you know how many people go through my ANT? None of them refer anything. Then do you develop them? Huh? I thought 90 days develop 90 days just to make them somebody appreciate our industry. So you see, there are many things we need to do. Don't assume that that's it. There are some people, the 90 days, yes, I'm ready. But not everybody are like that. Which I shared with you my story already, that when I was in the Air Force, I refer my colleagues, the Air Force colleague, to my insurance agent then. I'm a natural person that will refer people. So I refer, and he closed many cases for me. So when I joined insurance, this is a story many of you have not heard. So when I joined insurance, Prudential back then, I thought that my friend will be like me. Many of my friends will be like me. And then to my disappointment, severe disappointment and pain, many of my friends did not refer like me because I thought I am like that to my friend. My friend will be like that to me. And I was the most disappointed is with my girlfriend, which is not my wife lah. I had issue with her. I said that all the rest who don't refer, never mind. They are just friends. I'm disappointed with them. Somehow in the same church, somehow. What is this? But you're my girlfriend. You also never refer. Well, I use emotional blackmail on her, which is so immature of me. But no training ever talked to me. I don't have any training that educate me, enlighten me, teach me. No, all these things are me over the years matured and banged the wall to realize that people don't give me referral. It's never people's fault. My girlfriend don't give me referral. It's never my girlfriend's fault. But I go on the basis that people don't refer, fine lah. You're my girlfriend, you also don't refer. You understand the kind of language? Have you ever said that before? You talk to your husband, your wife, your family. 我自己人都不要介绍，你们算什么是自己人? Wow, that kind of words is a terrible words. If you ever say that kind of words, you're absolutely immature. When people don't refer, it's never their fault. It's your fault. If my girlfriend don't refer, it's never her fault. Today, if your agent do not AGA, it's never their fault. It's your fault. Think deeper. So over the years, it's because of all these hard knocks, I developed a referral system. I developed the AGA system. It's hard knocks. So whatever I share with you, it's not textbook that I read, because there's no such textbook in the insurance market. It's not the training I tell you, there's no such training either. It's hard knocks. Not until today, you don't have to get a knock. I just tell you. But telling you doesn't mean it's easy. You still need to do until you get knocked. Life is fair. Just that your knock is not so painful. Don't have to take so long. Okay. You're welcome. See, there's this article in our Singapore news again. A 36-year-old man who went for more than 10 admin job interviews in 1 month still did not get hired. So whenever I read a news like this, guys, don't you realize there are so many people out there? Again, another illustration. Many people out there, okay? And then somebody posts up in the Facebook to talk about his friend who is in this article, mentioned in this article. He said, my friend is 36 years old. He cannot get white-collar job already. He got a polytechnic diploma in marketing. Later on, he went on to take a private degree in business. I think it is not really recognized that it is completed in 1 year part-time. He started working at 23 years old after he left the army. He could only get admin job and his salary never exceeded 2.5K a month. He got retrenched at 36 years old, went for more than 10 admin job interview in 1 month, but did not have any job offer. So he gave up and went to work as casual in supermarket, salary less than 2K a month. Is this normal in Singapore? A Singaporean asking a Singaporean asking Singapore. Anyone here experienced these two and heard of such stories? I thought 36 years old is still okay. Maybe only after 40 years old, then cannot find white-collar job. Then in Facebook, right? So a lot of people comment. They're so I just share you some comment. The people who comment don't know him. They just comment. This will depend on skill set. His skills are too generic to begin with, no specialization. Another one say, very common among locals, retrenchment usually happens around 40 years old, then this degree holder will end up doing low paying jobs afterwards, which is why I always tell people your degree can only let you work in the relevant sector for about 10 years afterwards. It's worth nothing when companies look to freshen up their workforce with younger foreign labor. Lots of taxi drivers got degree, some even masters. So for youngsters taking up huge 30 years mortgage loan, think about your job security. Oh, many Grab drivers in 40 years are degree holders, some working as security officer. If you go to the Facebook and look at this, there are so many people who give this kind of comment. So to you as a recruiter, when you read story like this, how do you feel? Don't you notice when I read, I say, hey, why did you look for me? Correct? No? Hey, look for me out there, look for me. But it's not them. They don't know that you're looking for them. But then when they hear that you're insurance, again, you're the snake. Snake! They run away. They are hungry, no, but they see snake. You see? Very few people see snake. I love snake. I grew up with snake. Hardly anybody like that. So how is it that out there? So you see, our job is even tougher than a HR net. If I were to meet this 36 years old, how do I bring him dot to dot open up his spine? You see, how do I go dot to dot and open up his spine? So from this story, I share with you another story, okay, which has happened to one of our students in Malaysia. This is a real story now. From this story, we go to this story about this lady by the name of Wendy Lim. So you see, she did MDRT, COT. There's one blank now there, and that blank is TOT, which she already achieved. So when this photograph was taken, the TOT plug has not come yet. So in 5 years, in the last 5 years, she has phenomenal success. But this lady joined about 5-6 years ago. She was from the corporate world. She was in her 40s. Okay, she was in her 40s, got 2 children. She was a regional sales manager in a very successful MNCs. So she traveled to country. She has many sales, regional. So hundreds of salespeople report to her. So a successful corporate lady. Her manager has been trying to recruit her for more than 10 years, not successful. She attended the BOP talk, totally not impressed. All the car, house, all these things doesn't matter to her because she's already successful. She doesn't need all these things, but the talk probably put her off. All the durian talk. Then when the manager joined me as a coaching student, the manager changed and then invited her to my kind of career talk. So when she attended my career talk, from the corporate world, a professional, listened to a talk like that, well, impression changed. This is a very refreshing talk, interesting. Then at the point, at the 40s, the children are growing up. She's a mother. There's this word that we used to do in recruitment talk is a mother's guilt. You see, when you talk to professionals, you must bring in the word mother's guilt. Okay? Don't use it on father's guilt. It doesn't work. Father got no guilt, you understand? That father hopeless one. They just work well. There's no father guilt. Okay, so don't use the guilt on father. Father got no guilt. Only mother got guilt. All right? So this thing really hit her. She feel that, yeah, but the salary, the corporate success is hard for her to give up. But then this manager from the rethinking world bring her to the next dot and eventually offer her the FSFT. And the keyword to her, do not quit your job, because she need a salary. But the FSFT opened up her mind because corporate person understand this term. And this is one very rare person who understands, if I agree to take this opportunity, I must be responsible because you offered me this opportunity. So talking about the remaining day, the little time you have, you need to make how many conversations, how many people you see, the call, meet, close. She understands all these things because she was a sales manager, just that it's in a corporate setting. So highly responsible, understand about the 4 A's. She managed her time in between lunchtime. She make calls. She will meet clients early. And she struggled with her timing at night with the children, with how to manage with training, being a FSFT training, and then her corporate responsibility flying now. It was a tough period, but she accepted, just like the story of the teacher. Moment you accept this, you know that you have to align, you have to adjust, you have to adapt, all these things. So I asked her the next question. So at which point do you finally throw in the towel and come in from FSFT, become full-time? She said that all these things happened during morphosis camp. She was a FSFT for about 5 to 6 months. And the 5 to 6 months, she need to work, she need to be FSFT. It was tough, but she do her best to be fair to her manager who give her this opportunity. See, the language they use are so beautifully. She's so responsible. She speak the language. She will not give problem to the manager because she knows that this is an opportunity given to her. See, characteristic of an ideal FSFT. Then I said, what happened during the morphosis camp? She said, Sifu, you know your camp, huh? The way you run your camp, open up the heart, it hit me as a mother. That camp, that's it, enough is enough. I throw in the towel, I come in full-time. And since then, no return. As we are talking now, she's already earning much more than her corporate income. And then she started to go around AIA giving talks. And during her kind of talk, you know, people will ask questions, so where do you get your customer? You know, the 10 must ask question. Same old question people ask, where do you get your customer? Where do your clients come from? And her answer is the same in the 10 must ask, the word referrals. She said, I only get my clients, I only do referrals. Then people are always very puzzled. Huh? You only get referrals because we also ask for referrals. He said, yeah, all my customers come from referrals. Then the next question, sure, come on, you all should know, how did you get referrals? Where do you learn the referrals? They say, oh, everything I learned from Gordon Hu. Then now the people in the class, many of them attended my referral training before. Then how come it didn't work for them? How come it work for her? Then the next question, so if you meet the customer, what kind of sales presentation you use? Everybody will ask this question. They say, oh, the sales presentation until today, I only use one presentation, which is I learned from Gordon Hu, the financial basket. Then people also say, wow, because many of them learn the basket. Then why is it that for her, as we are talking, still work? Because she only have one master. She only follow one master, Gordon Hu. Not that I'm the best, because she's very clear. But today, many people learn from me. They also learn from that. You know, the company got training, so many sales ideas running here and there. They know which one. They are master they are jack of all trades, but master of none. Jack of many ideas, but master of none. So people are puzzled, you know. So how do you find this story? It is a story that look at this picture. When I was in Finesis a few years ago, while I was still on Finesis, I invited her, Wendy, and her manager called Justin. If you read the book, her story was behind. I invited her to speak in Finesis, one of our events. Okay. Now, I need you all to know something. That in Finesis, we are very self-sufficient. Familiar term? Do you hear this term last week? Finesis is very self-sufficient. All these years that we run, when I run Finesis until today, we are very self-sufficient, meaning we don't invite any external speakers. People can say we are proud. We are self-sufficient. We don't go after this speaker, that speaker, that speaker. We don't. So Wendy and Justin were the first external speaker that I invited to speak in Finesis. Can you believe that? And they are not top speakers. They just come and share her referral story, how she get referrals from learning from me. So that my Finesis people, many of them are also struggling with referrals that you learn from me, you learn from the company. Many of you struggle here. Look, it's an external person. She can learn until get such a phenomenal result. Then she will share her sales idea that I taught her. Then the manager will share about her recruitment process using all the dots. It's basically a simple sharing. They said that, wow, you want me to speak in Finesis? I don't know how to prepare. I say, don't need to prepare one. You just go by interview. I ask question, you answer can really. That one is powerful enough. That's all. So we all got to be very clear that this is the way it is. And I'm always appreciative of her. And until today, just appreciative of her. That she used what she learned and she painfully just go through them. and she achieved phenomenal success. And to give you the latest, last year she gone through my Ample Essential because she has gone through so many years of selling, she's tired. And last year she gone through my Ample Essential, she wants to go into management. And the manager, of course, in my class, will say that, of course, we are happy that she will go into management. After my Ample Essential 12 session, she sent an email to me and to her manager. After this 12 session, Seafood Gordon, I have such clarity that management is not for me. Now for the rest of her career, she will just focus on her sales career path. We congratulated her. Not everybody, she is a sales manager. So running agency is never a problem, but she now realized that running agency from the way I pitch it is so painful, a lot of work, she'd rather do sales. Then we are happy for her. She just do sales. Clarity. But she is a fantastic AGA. Her agency run on the basis that everybody will AGA one. All follow my system. Okay. So this is how you will see at the end of the day, this is how you are. This is who you are before you attend Ample Essential. This is you, this square is your agency, so you have your FCs. People join you, people also leave you. This is typical in every agency, correct? But this is your future. Now that you finish Ample Essential, this is your FC. But now you have another, people join you, people also leave you, so this never change. This will never change for the rest of your life. As long as you're in this career, this will never change. People will join you, people will leave you. But now you have another business unit, FSFT. People join as FSFT, people also leave as FSFT. But the beauty of this is that now from FSFT, there's another channel of people joining you. So this is the future that you're seeing. So I hope this encouraged you today's session. And I want to show you another article. Look at the date of this article. Do you see the date? This is a today's paper, you know. Today, 27 April 2022. So for Singaporean, go and read. This is on the forum page. Okay, flexi work, support older staff and those with elder care needs. Okay, read the whole article. I just want to bring your attention to the last two paragraphs. Okay, as you can see, I boxed it up below. Okay, this last two paragraphs is too small for you to read. I put it up here for you. He said the learning curve for flexible work arrangement has been steep. This is talking to the government because he's asking the government to make it mandatory, make it a law. He said the learning curve for flexible arrangement has been steep in the last 2 years, and some workplaces may have had negative experiences with the unexpected, unplanned, and rushed implementation. Take note of this. Negative experiences which you are going to have. Unexpected, unplanned, and rushed implementation which you will have, but you do not rush. You do not have unexpected, you do not have unplanned because I've already trained you. For you, it will be positive experiences. Even people don't join doesn't mean it's negative. For you, it will be expected. It will be planned. Not rush implementation, but planned. Expected and planned implementation. He said, but I hope this does not hinder the acceptance of flexible work arrangement and the desire to make Singapore a better workforce with a more resilient, agile workforce. You look at this statement. What does it tell you? For the past 10 years before this pandemic, it's been 10 years that Singapore has been pushing employers to embrace flexible working for the sole purpose of allowing workers to go back and make babies. But this pandemic expedited everything, but many companies adopt it and fail. They don't see the benefit. They lose money, they lose all the frustration. So if you see that this is happening out there to MNCs or SMEs, guys, even if you do it, you're struggling, it's part and parcel of it. It's normal. So many times insurance people is that whenever we do things this way, we think that the whole world only you go through these challenges. No, only you are the one that suffer this kind of setback. Everybody go through the same thing. You're not the only one. But we like to see that it's very difficult. That is the thing that only difficult to you. Out there is the same. But the whole key is that the government is not giving up on flexible working. People are appealing, please don't give up. So I'm saying to you, if you want to do it, don't give up. Whether it's Indonesia, Malaysia, or Singapore, don't give up. Continue to work at it until you find that equilibrium, that momentum, that works for you. You're not the only one. That's fine, difficult. Even the MSc, this is very difficult. It's not easy. So we ended off with this. After the 10 questions, see opportunity with your SIR. So this is something we will talk in the third module next week onwards for the next 3 weeks. But here we have finally finished this. See opportunity, join the ANT, and today we have a different understanding of ANT. And then we move into FSFT, the Flexi consultant or Flexi agent. And from here, hopefully they will come into here. And of course, those who say no, that's it. So this is the whole diagram. We have coming to the last one called SIR starting next week. So to conclude, I share with you this quote by Bernard Shaw. Progress is impossible without change. And those who cannot change their mind cannot change anything. So I hope that all this talk that I put in a lot of effort to talk to you, hopefully I can change your mind. If not, you can't change anything. And to believe in yourself that you can only progress if you change. The next quote by Aristotle. Educating the mind without educating the heart is no education at all. So since we started until now, for all of you, are you still at the mind level or have I touched your heart level? That's why from the beginning, on the first module on the book, it's called Heart Truth. From day one, I always talk heart truth. But if you stay in your mind, this education is not the mind education, it's the heart education. All right, so I hope that we have a great time having this session. Yes? So next week onwards, when we meet, we will be into this program called SIR, Study Right. It is a 90 days new agent retention program, and it is basically a conversion program from a civilian to a soldier. As example, convert from a person who is civilian to a soldier, or convert you from an employee to be an entrepreneur. All right. And the whole call to the new agent who is joining is that a message to him is that we believe the first 90 days tell the story of an agent. The ambition, attitude, energy is either there or not. It's not difficult to tell whether he or she can make it in the first 90 days. So all this will be elaborated, and in the SIR program, you will be seeing all this thing from a very, very different perspective. Okay, very, very different perspective. All right, we still have 5 minutes. I open up for Q&A. Anybody got anything to ask me?
I want to ask one question, Sifu.
Yep.
Just want to clarify that the ANT, the 30, 60, 90 days is to answer the one questions, can I do the job? Is it right?
The 30, 60, 90 days, yes. The 30, 60, 90 days come to the ANT. If your mind is open up to the 10 masters question, can I do the job? Can I do the job is a case of talking about no regret. So in order not to live life with no regret, come for the ANT. It's only 90 days. That's why the question compared to 3 months ago and 3 months later will make a difference. So hopefully can convince him to come for the 90 days.
Okay. All right,
not about joining yet. Not about joining yet. The 90 days is to come and discover. At the end, you don't join, but I guarantee you, you will be 100% different. Because the few questions, remember, I asked in the last 90 days, do you make any new friends? Do you learn any new things? Do you grow as a person? Do your relationship with your family improve? If no, I tell you the next 90 days, all these things will happen. Would you want to invest these 90 days with us? Then your next question, Gordon, our 90 days got trained to improve relationship with family. Of course.
Okay, thank you, Sifu.
Jess, the last slide no need to show you because in the next 90 days, you will see more than the last slides, okay? On the 90 days on the SIR. If you're referring to the SIR slides, you will get more than that next week onwards. Everything will be there. Today, I'm just showing you. So hope today is a great session for us to end the recruiting mastery workshop. We started off with the first 2 weeks by learning about how to conduct a recruiting seminar or career seminar called Rethinking Work, Understanding Opportunity. Then we move on to the next 2, 3, or 4 weeks to understand the 10 must ask question. And then from there, today we learn about the FSFT. The 10 must ask question, of course, include the ANT, the 30, 60, 90, everything there. And then the 10 must ask question. Then next week, we'll finish the third module on SIR. Okay, so you can see, probably this is the first time in your career as a manager that you have attended such a comprehensive agency building program. I strongly believe that, isn't it? And the most important, at such a fantastic price. Wow. Somebody must say amen to that. After finish the 12 module, don't you feel sorry for me? Say, Gordon, you talk until like that, you charge so little. Huh? Now I feel bad. Okay, no more question. So no question, that's it already. I'll see you next week. We still got 2 more minutes, so let's hang on for 2 more minutes. We must finish the official time one. If not, later you ask for 2-minute refund, you know.
Gordon.
Yes, you're May. Oh,
I got a question. Gordon, I just curious, right? One of the slide you position FS as a concubine. Why is that so?
Okay. We go by the ancient movie, those kind of 古装 Empress is your wife, correct or not? 是有身份的, got official position title one, correct? 妃子 concubine is also got official title one, 名正言顺 title one, correct? Mistress got no title. Mistress is hidden one, cannot see one. So FSFT 是有名分的. The title one is officially recognized. You're my concubine, so everybody must respect one. The eunuch also must respect one.
Oh.
Whereas the mistress, nobody will respect. Mistress cannot see one. The king cannot let people know I got mistress. Hello, cannot. But yet the mistress is the one that will kill the king. Because once the reputation go out, the news spread, alamak, the king got mistress or anybody got mistress. You understand? So concubine is an official thing. People can accept. People will not treat. It's not professional. Concubine is officially acknowledged by the king. So FSFT is officially acknowledged in the agency part of the program, part of the system. So we respect them. They will not be treated as second class. But mistress, sorry, mistress come to the agency or come to any public function, the head will be low, you know. So today, if I bring a mistress to a function, I would need to tell the mistress, behave, don't anyhow demand things like that. Mistress cannot say, tonight come over to drink soup, can? I say, can. Then after drink soup, stay lah, tonight stay lah. Stay lah. Mistress don't know how to behave, then you don't be mistress, Then this month allowance, no. Yeah, mistress must know how to behave and pay by the rule. You understand? All these things I know not because I'm mistress. I watch movie, understand? Hello? All this script, That means you understand from the way we play. If you want, if people who are mistress got to know how to play by the rule, then you can forever be a mistress, get the allowance you want, but play by the rule. The rule means you cannot disrupt the family. You cannot demand things. You never ever suggest, can you stay overnight? Can I travel with you? No, nothing. You only get a good life. That's it. But our agency, the part-time mistress, are very demanding. Correct or not? That's why many managers got sucked by the part-timers. They don't know how to behave. Their wife, which is the full-time people, are wife. Their spouses are all neglected. This is a talk I gave in Indonesia one time. Wow, they love it. Talk until they cry, you know, I tell you. And the topic, mistress, concubine, empress. Whoa, I tell you, whole day training on these 3 topics. Organizer, you may I go Malaysia and talk the train in Chinese are more powerful. Wow.
Thanks, Gordon.
和情妇，哇老家了。
师傅。
Yes, Italing.
Yeah, I'm just maybe just now Rudy asking about the 10 question is because of can I do the job? I just want to clarify something because just now Sifu said is the 90 days program, the A&T test and train program is not about them to joining us.
Adeline, the A&T is of course about them. After that, we want them to become an FSFT. That is definitely our #1 priority. But we must have in mind that out of 10 who come through the program, if 2 willing to join, is very successful already. But many times we become discouraged over the 8. But the 8 is not wasted, because the 8, if you do a good A&T, that out of the 8, you may get another 2 who become your COI. Then you're very successful. So it's not wasted. Don't always think that those who didn't join are wasted, because there are some people you also don't want. So be very clear. Some people go through, you get to know them, you also don't want them. So you will pick up those 1 or 2 who are potential futures, rainmaker, future COI. Okay?
Understand. And then I want to ask that because for train about our test and train program, the 3 months program, actually, if let's say we based on 30, 60, and 90, actually will be means that we need to train them as a daily basic. But because they give us a remaining day, that's why I designed my 3 months program with 24 sections only. Means that 1 week I just make them twice.
Okay, guys.
Is it possible?
I answer this question to you, okay? Ample Essential is a 3 months program. Is it 3 months program or only 12 sessions?
12 sessions.
But then why do I tell why do we say it's a 3 months program? So it's a way of speaking, understand? It's a way of speaking. When I say 30, 60, 90 days, all of you got to look into your culture, your resources, your ability to handle the 30, 60, 90 days. You can still call 30, 60, 90 days. For example, J-Lim Group, I take that as an example. Look at all the gentlemen in J-Lim Group. You look at their face, look at picture. All look so good, professional, carry themselves well, speak well. So J-Lim got the manpower, the resources to do a really 90 days every day because they have enough manpower. But then you look at Tony. Tony is alone, alone. With Sun Hok or Hoksun?
Hoksun. Sun Hok need to steam.
Sun Hok is a fish. Sun Hok is a fish, yeah.
Hoksun, not the fish.
Tony is with Hoksun. After they attend this, wow, they are so inspired. They want to do a 30, 60, 90 days. Then they look at each other. They are already not young anymore. And this is so new to them. They don't have the resources. They don't have the manpower. They themselves are so new to this new concept. And they are very weak. There's no way 2 of them can do an everyday 90-day, 30, 60, 90. Are you following me now? So Hoksun and Tony need to talk. So just 2 of us, what is the best we can stretch to give this 30, 60, 90 days? So I hope you understand me. That's why I say culture, context of your resources, your manpower, all these factor in. You cannot say that Sifu讲 30, 60, 90 days, so we must stretch. Then these 2 stretch until the 90 days finish. They want to join, but they died. Now people want to join, but 2 of them died already. So for what?
Thank you, Sifu.
But then you also cannot say that because I got no manpower by 30, 60, 90 days, actually it's 1 month meet 1 time only. So it's only meet 3 times, but it's called 3 months. Then that one is also a joke, you understand? So whatever it is, there must be a minimum so-called baseline that you must meet. Then when you meet, does it have to be 3 hours? So if I were to be Tony and Hoksun, my 30, 60, 90 days will be a lot of engagement, but short timing. You see, I will still meet, but it will not be each time 90 minutes or 1 hour or 3 hours. But I will have a lot of 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 45 minutes, 30 minutes. I will give a lot of frequency of engagement. That one, Tony and Hoksun can do. Because that one will no longer restricted to fixed time. It's by availability. Anytime I will give you the 15 minutes. So that one will on high frequency of engagement. So again, it is many different ways you have to decide which one suit you. Let's say Elaine Tan is a satu orang person. Elaine will be the kind, anytime, call me, I be there, that kind of 江湖儿女 type, you know, that kind of thing. So know who you are, what you are. Then when your manpower grow, let's say Tony eventually got more agent coming grow, then you put in more structured, more formal. Got my 了解吗 Tony? Or purposely pick you up because I know you're struggling already in this area.
Gordon, I got a question.
Yes, Samantha.
Samantha here. On top of Adeline, just now the example is that when 10 person go through the ANT, maybe 2 of them can be a referral. But during your sharing, you also mentioned that not everyone is trained to be a referrer, right? So just now I spot one things that you mentioned that we need to train them. It's not come in natural way. So can you give some example how we can train them?
Last week in our coaching, Samantha, I mentioned one word. As a leader, you must have the ability to spot ability. So I answered your question already. As a leader, you got to train yourself. As people come to your training, your ANT, they're going to be with you for 3 months now. The engagement is so many. Like here, I engage you for so many times. I must have the ability to spot ability and also the ability to spot inability. And how do I spot? I said that last week, right? By a lot of conversation, isn't it? I need to spend time talking to you. As I talk to you, as I engage you, then, oh, this person cannot. This person, I stretch a little bit only. Oh, this person stressed. That means I need to know when to pull the brake. You see, but you don't know. I'm testing you. You don't know one. I'm pushing you. I'm stretching you. You won't know one. I will say, Samantha, next week, our coaching, I want you to share, okay, about your script, this and that. They say, Sifu, I got no script. Then go and write, no. I said, I write. Yeah, go and write the script lah. Then I see you stressed already. Then I push, you really cannot. Then I know that I spot ability. This area of ability cannot. Then I say, okay, but if I think that you're somebody I want to, I say, never mind, Samantha, why not we do this? I send you a script. You read it, and then you tell me, is this script okay? Then if it's okay, next week, can you share this script? Then you say, like that can. So I'm trying to spot your ability. Are you following me now?
Yes. Then now I get. I know.
So I give you an example. One of the session in the 10 question, you all notice there's a follow-up conversation between me and Elaine. Why is it not a follow-up video? That means I video live with Elaine.
Yes.
Because when I do live with Elaine freeze. Cannot. So I change to conversation now. That conversation, she also freeze. But at least I push, we get the conversation out. That's what a leader's job, you see. You cannot just take your people a no. Video cannot, conversation is die must. If conversation also cannot, then she cannot stay in Gordon Hu consultancy. But then in the end, you notice the video part turned out so beautiful, isn't it? So professional, so good. But when she hears her own voice, her group people all stand up, she cannot take it. So she's not used to it, but that's how you train her and spot her ability, which I keep encouraging her and say that she's very good, which many of you and also say that, wow, Elaine is very good, very natural, but she feels it absolutely not natural. So I spot her ability.
I should look at Elaine now, facial expression.
Then you can see that eventually I will stretch her to do video already, okay?
Okay.
So I answer your question.
Yes, you
then
answer
how
my
do you,
question.
then the next question, but Gordon, how come you're so good in spotting ability? Let me tell you, because I have made a lot of mistakes spotting the wrong ability. Understand?
Understood.
I spent my years spotting the wrong ability, invest in the wrong fella, train like Xiao, in the end it's the wrong guy. So only when you make a lot of wrong mistake in choosing the right person, then you'll be clearer in choosing the right person.
Yes. Thank you, Gordon.
Okay. All right, good. So I trust that today we have a great session. It's a great aha moment. I received a lot of positive encouragement throughout the session, like a lot of aha moment, blah, blah, blah. So it's very encouraging. And I hope you can continue to send the feedback. Elaine, back to you, please.
Okay. Okay. Okay, I don't have much lah. But I of course I want to talk about our feedback again. I'm sure that after today's six sessions of recruiting mastery workshop, you definitely have